Okay, now clap.
Yeah, you got that. Good job, Graham. Hello, guys and gals, and welcome back to Limitless Conversations, the podcast hosted by two broken enthusiastic teenagers. My name is Ian Boyd.
My name is Oscar Wolfgang.
And today we are here with a very special guest, Rusty Cameron Johnson. You may know his cousin, Dwayne The Rock, right? Yeah?
That is false news.
Okay.
So most of you guys are big fans of him. You probably even know him best from Destroyer, which is a hit rap he did back in the day.
Produced by Oscar Wolfgang.
Written somewhat by Ian Boyd. And
Ghost
Cam.
written. No, not Destroyer wasn't really. I did like
You did
3
the
lines
opening,
in
right?
it. Yeah, I
You
did.
and Cam came
I
up
did
with
the
opening.
Rusty Cam part.
I definitely remember the Emma Watson thing was either Oscar or I.
I
Mhm.
know that we were walking
Down the road one day when
that was
we
you,
saw a van
right?
approach our way. Out came a man. His name
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Rusty Cam, and here's what he had to say.
And then I spent extensive hours coming up with the worst raps ever.
I definitely felt like I was the public figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Anyway,
You guys did everything with the computer.
You had your time in the limelight there. Really introduced you to the media class, the
Mhm.
whole
you
experience.
basically became part of it.
Yeah,
In the middle of
Enjoyed
creative
everything.
writing class.
Yeah.
I really liked how you did that.
yeah.
We were actually just at Timberline the other day
Mhm.
because we're losers, and we told Moray we probably did more media videos for her creative writing class than we did for our media class.
For sure, that's definitely what happened. We were talking about earlier on the other podcast that we barely did any videos in actual media that were quality, but in writing, we really gave it our all.
Yeah. Green screen.
Green screen.
Destroyer. That
Destroy-
That poem was fire.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. We took all that footage driving around.
Yeah.
I still have that footage.
It's a great time. So, Cameron, why don't you do a little introduction of
Tell us about
yourself? They've never seen you here before or anything, like unlike Grady where they already met him. So just your name, your
name,
social
your
security
rank.
number, your credit card information.
All right.
Your relationship status.
Ooh.
Ooh,
I don't know if we want to
alrighty.
get onto. Oh, first before that though, I think we should address the elephant in the room. Oscar has sunglasses on right now because he recently had eye surgery. He's not just a big douchebag. But
Woohoo!
Is that why you're crying?
Yeah.
A funny story. I got eye surgery scheduled tomorrow. I'm
Really?
getting
Holy.
laser retinal
Mm.
because I got a hole in my left retina. So if I had
Yikes.
severe head trauma, or by the time I hit 50, I would go completely blind. on
I
my
would go
left eye.
completely eye up in here. I'd be able to see everything. Demons, everything.
Seems like a fourth dimension.
So how does it feel to not have 20/20 vision, guys? That's weird, huh?
I bet you don't have 23.
I do.
You do?
I do.
Did you just?
Last time I went, I had 20/20 vision.
How long ago was the last time you went?
A year ago.
Well, you know,
So it's
a lot
probably
can change in a
changed.
year.
Yeah.
I was
But
just going to say contacts don't count.
anyway, back
Yeah.
to you. What's your whole spiel?
Well, my name's Cameron Johnson.
Oh, okay, nice to meet you.
Most of my friends just call me dumbass.
Okay, that's fair.
I call him Rusty Cam.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not your friend. I'm just kidding. All right, continue. I'm sorry.
No worry. I work at the pool here in Campbell River.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
I'm a lifeguard.
ladies. I was gonna say ladies and boys, but that kind of sounds inappropriate.
It sounds like to a targeted audience.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There are lots of good stories there.
Yeah, yeah.
I am currently going to NIC in Courtney,
Oh,
where
yeah.
I am part of the Adventure Guide diploma there.
Mhm.
So right now I'm certified to take people out sea kayaking for a day,
Ooh.
and also on whitewater raft excursions.
Goddamn.
Ooh, fancy, fancy.
So you've kind of got your life somewhat figured out. You know what you're going to school. You have a plan, somewhat, right? You're a man with a plan now.
I knew that was
Yeah.
coming. I'm a man with a plan.
Okay, that's good.
Not
That's
just some guy we throw in our van.
no,
No.
that's a lot. That like not many people can say that at this age. Not saying that's a bad thing,
But
but
it's, you know,
it's good that you
you made an
found out.
impressive feat.
Congrats,
This
Cam.
podcast is getting controversial.
Is you just wait a few minutes. We're gonna.
Let me
Anyway, you guys want to hear a joke to lighten the mood?
Sure, why not?
Okay. So let me preface this by I'm not proud of it.
Okay.
But I was at work cleaning,
Mm-hmm.
and I was really thinking, like, you think it doesn't bother me, but the name Devon really does bother
Oh,
me.
I know.
So I was thinking about the pronunciation of people whose name is Devon who insist on pronouncing it Devon. And I thought there's another name called Dwayne. Just instead of Dwayne,
Dwayne.
Dwayne.
Yeah.
So I thought of a joke. One second. I wrote it down because I want to do it justice. Let me just go into my little notes here. Here we go. Fuck. Oh, sorry. There we go.
So how's it going?
Oh God.
That's really sticky.
Cam just pokes his eye.
Oh, is that why you thought I was crying?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's ointment. I'm not even kidding. I have eye stuff I gotta put on my eye.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not fun.
Don't worry.
Are they red?
It's fine. You want to see? It's really gross.
Yeah. Before we start the joke, I
I-
want to see Oscar's
Yeah,
eyes.
it's really gross.
You're gonna get our
I
live
don't think it's
reaction.
gross anymore, but right when I got out of the surgery, I was crying blood.
Oh my God,
Legit.
that's metal.
Yeah. You want to see?
That's hard as fuck.
Yeah. Holy fuck!
Ooh.
Ah.
Yeah.
It makes my eyes water.
Yeah.
You're gonna look so weird without glasses for the rest of your life. I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
know you. You're gonna walk into I went to my house.
Isn't
I'm
that
gonna
cute,
hit you with a.
Yeah. What did you have done?
So I have double vision. So like when you see a 3D movie without the glasses on and everything's like.
Or when you're like
know?
plastered off a 4 beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like all the time when I'm not wearing my glasses, that's all I see. And so I had surgery when I was like 13 to fix that, and then I guess like puberty happened and I grew out of it. So I
Goddamn
had to-
puberty.
Yeah, so I had to go get it again. Finally got it. It's been like 3 years since they told me I could have it. Now I finally got it.
Wow.
Last time I had it, they had to do both eyes.
Uh huh.
So when I was like 13, both my eyes looked that shitty. Now it's just one.
Oh, good.
So it's a lot
So your
better.
vision was better than when you were 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now I see one without glasses, which is very nice to have, so that when people don't take my glasses off, it's not like I'm like,
I'm gonna get you. Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Just kind of like
Yeah.
a pirate,
Yeah. My brother used to be my volleyball and basketball coach, and I didn't wear glasses when I was playing sports.
You did volleyball?
I did, yeah.
Nice.
I
I
didn't
was-
know that.
I didn't know that
Yeah.
either. I didn't know he did any sports. To be perfectly honest, I knew he did lightsaber fights. But I
Oh, my
didn't know about
And
sports.
he was my coach, and he would throw the ball at me, but like I'd go over here, and the ball's going over here, and he'd start like whipping him, being like, "Hit the ball, bitch!"
So-
And I'm like, going over here,
So
like,
maybe you actually are good at sports. You just had your vision. That was
yeah. And
not
so-
saying you're bad at sports now. I'm just
No, I'm
I've passed the
terrible at
football
sports.
around with you a couple times, and
Yeah.
I'm terrible.
I'm terrible. But maybe I'm better now. We'll
Maybe
see.
we'll see. Anyway, here's the joke, guys. So it's a rainy day, but the boss of the company doesn't know because his office has no windows. That's just a little preface for that.
Mhm.
An employee who has a speech impediment named Dwayne comes in, soaking wet, and the boss says, "Dwayne, you're soaked." Dwayne replies, "First of all, it's Dwayne, and secondly, it's Dwayne."
You can go to hell.
You get it?
Professional writer, man.
What?
Professional writer
Yeah.
right there.
Dwayne, like the rain, and his name is he's correcting the
we get it.
boss
No,
at the
we get it.
pronunciation of Dwayne. That's the joke, guys.
Thanks for explaining it.
Only the best jokes come from the meat shop.
When you're sitting there spraying the floors,
Just
spraying
slapping on that
blood
meat.
off the floor.
Like all the blood's just everywhere, and like, or you're grinding a sheep head in the grinder or whatever. You just really think of the most like classical
The
jokes.
This reminds me of how much I hate Devon. This
they
really pushes my buttons here.
So, to bring back some memories from media or from creative writing, Ian was applying for a job at Disneyland, and so me and Cam thought, hey, let's help make him a resume.
Yeah.
So we worked our asses off and made this fire resume, and
If only I had it on me still.
I have it at home. I wish I brought it.
No, I think I added about like 4 words in there.
I got a lot of inspiration from you though. Don't you worry. It's probably on like your
It's on my
Gmail or whatever.
It's definitely there.
yeah.
I wouldn't delete it. You guys spent too long on that.
Yeah,
you probably
yeah.
spent 3 classes working on a fake
Definitely.
resume for me.
It was really good, but for
We
quality
weren't
foods,
graded.
I handed it in, and Maury said she loved it. So,
Yeah.
So for your past jobs, I added quality foods,
Mm-hmm.
and I gave your title "The Butcher's Bitch."
Which is accurate.
Has anyone else called you that while you've been at your work?
No.
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 But that's kind of your job.
But that is, they don't. Yeah, they say it
Mhm.
in a way where it's like they can't say it legally, probably, but
Yeah.
they mean it. I'm aware of my position.
So your position, just to be clear with the audience, you clean up whatever the mess the butcher makes.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
Since then, though,
Mhm.
I work during the day too now.
Have you become the butcher?
I haven't become the butcher.
Oh.
That's years of
Years of
training.
training.
Years of, I'm not that ready yet. I'm
Okay.
not. I'd say I'm a yellow belt in the butchery department as far as butchers go. I've made some pork chops. I've cut some pork chops,
Oh, look at you.
and I've cut some country style pork ribs.
Country style.
Country style. I don't know why they're country.
Yeah,
I don't. I mean, I know exactly why all the cuts of meat are the way they're called. That. And I've cut up some inside round to make some ground beef. I don't know if I was supposed to say what kind of meat I cut to make ground. I'm sure it's it's all the same.
Human.
I cut up the last cleanup guy to make some ground beef. And then I packaged chicken and whatnot. So
Alright. How big are the birds?
how big's the bird?
Okay. Cool. Let's segue to Cam. Let's talk about your current career. Got anything to say about it? Being a lifeguard. How hard is that on you? Take a toll?
You know what? Like, I love my job. I
Mhm.
love what I do. I don't feed burgers or grind up chickens or whatever.
Or humans?
Unfortunate.
For your job, though. Let's just
For
make that
my
clear.
job.
For my
For my
job.
job.
My home life is completely different.
Yeah, I
it's a
skin
hobby of
cats on
mine.
my
Actually.
time off, you know.
Holy fuck. Okay, never mind.
What?
I thought that was like a roll down green screen, but then I realized it's just a prop pipe. So
That'd be
that's
cool, though.
I mean, we're actually in front of a brick wall right now.
Yeah, we're actually outside in a,
We're on the streets of Cumberland.
Yeah.
surprise. All right.
So being a lifeguard, it's kind of everything you expect it to be. There is
Silence your phone, please. I'm kidding.
It's over there. Do you think it got... Hear it on here?
I don't think it
Okay, I'm going
matters.
to pause and just check. Okay, anyway.
Stop the production.
I got to find out. Okay, continue.
We're really this is a common theme. I hope you didn't come here expecting to talk. We just kind of
It's just a
We
chill-
talk?
no.
It's called limitless conversation.
Yeah, come
not
on.
lim-
It's
whatever the
limitless
fuck.
Not
cam.
cam
Yeah,
conversation.
exactly. We just kind of have you with some eye candy, and then we'll talk about our lives.
So Ian,
Any-
what's your opinion on abortion?
Well, I'm happy you asked. Similar to Cam's, I also wrote a book. Anyway, you can continue now. Sorry about
Can
that.
I?
I'll think about it.
I'll
Give
give
it a
you-
give
wait,
it a
wait.
bit. The ratings aren't great right now, so maybe if we put some fresh meat in there.
I don't have headphones. I can't hear what you're saying.
Okay.
You said fresh meat.
Yeah, like
I'm thinking you go back to your job.
Oh,
grab
cool.
some stuff. We'll slap
don't worry, it's okay. But first, before we let him finish his lifeguard
That was kind of boring.
I'm falling asleep. Okay. Talking about death, Cameron.
There, the thing about the pool, it's a public place. It is the recreation center. You get everybody who wants to come in for a swim. They just come in. So you have all types of people that come in from Campbell River.
Yeah.
The people that get high in the change rooms, either on mushrooms or whatever, go on the slide 24 times. They look at you dead in the eye and just go, "This is the best invention ever made." And he goes, like, he goes down the slide. No, literally, he goes, "Whoa!" Like,
Jesus.
That's just me.
That's Oscar.
I'm not even on shrooms.
Oscar
That's just-
before the surgery, he had to take his glasses off to let you know, hey,
yeah.
I can't see right now, but this is some quality
It
stuff.
feels good.
Yeah. The little bumps that they have in it.
Everybody loves the ridges in the slide.
It's just my favorite.
Good time.
Little gross story. My friend's dad went down one of those big slides once, and one of the screws was loose,
Oh,
and he got caught on it.
eh.
Yeah. Anyway, continue.
That reminds, like, you get so many stories like that. Like, I'm not too sure if you guys have ever done this, but, you know, like, you see the diving boards on the decks, and the water's, like, makes all the tiles slippery, right?
Yeah.
So the kids, they like to grab onto the bottom, like, rails of the diving board, and they like to slide on their butt underneath the water slide, and you just kind of slide for a little bit. You look like a spy in a spy movie.
Yeah.
It's really fun. It's all fun and games, but those tiles, they're horrible,
Yeah.
and they buckle all the
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
So you imagine having, like, this, what is it, cosmetic or, no, not cosmetic, ceramic. This
Ceramic.
ceramic
Oh, yeah,
tile.
I was
this,
like,
you know,
makeup.
Like-
So like the cosmetic people are just furious because They can't make
All
their
the
baby look pretty
cosmeticians out
after
here,
any
you
of it. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Okay,
Like-
gotcha. Ceramic tiles or whatever.
They just buckle up, and when these kids grab on and they slide under, they just
Ah,
rip all up their leg or in their
Ugh,
shorts or
not
on
good.
their butt. You
Yep.
know, like
Yeah.
it's just
And do they go to you about that? I hurt my butt. What were you doing? Sliding? Sliding on my butt on the tiles?
When I used to live in Edmonton,
Uh-huh.
you guys ever heard of West Edmonton Mall?
No, never.
No.
My
Well,
God.
there's a water park there,
Uh-huh.
and they have these new inventions. They're genius. They're slides that you stand, and it goes like 3, 2, 1, and the floor drops beneath you, and like,
Yeah.
the slide goes straight down, and then eventually you fall out. But
because that's
there's
what
this-
everybody loves.
Yeah,
there's
just
this game
free
me and my
fall
brother
into
would
their
play
death.
where we would, while we're falling down, we'd
Holy
do
shit.
that, and we'd suction to the sides. But then one time I did that, and then my brother went down, and he hit me on the head,
Jesus Christ.
and I was bleeding out of my nose. I was bleeding out like everywhere, like legit. I was bleeding everywhere.
And that's how you saw
Bleeding
double
out of my
vision for the rest of your
eyes.
life. Yeah.
that's how it happened. But yeah, no, I was just like, oh, this is so cool. And then I heard like 3, 2, 1, ka-dunk, and I thought, oh no.
The safety people did not care then, huh?
No, because it's like a solid, like there's no clear in the tube.
They're
so
like,
they
who would be stupid enough to catch themselves while falling down
Yeah, that would be
the
the game. 'cause
slide?
the plan was that I would suction, and then my brother would go down, and he would suction. We'd both be in there. I don't know why.
Blocking traffic
Yeah, yeah.
for the rest of the day.
There's one thing I love more than just getting creamed by my brother coming down. I just like looking up at my brother's, like just board shorts.
We're gonna both-
Hey.
We're gonna both. 'Cause I also have my cousin. We were all just gonna
Oh
jam up
my
the slide.
God.
That was the plan, but I wasn't strong
You
enough.
didn't think that?
so-
No,
no.
you're
So
the youngest, aren't you?
yeah. So,
So
it
why'd
kicks
they
me in the
make
head, and
They were planning that for sure.
Definitely.
They were
I-
like, okay, Oscar's the weakest of us. Let's just get him to go
yeah.
and land on
I
him.
blacked out. I like woke up at the
my
bottom of
God.
the slide, like whoa, and like just blood everywhere. But like I wasn't like open wound. It was just got hit so hard in the top of
Yeah.
the head. I was bleeding out of my nose.
Was
And
it like
ears, head trauma.
the
whatever.
water was all bloody, or
Yeah, no, it was bad.
do they have to shut down the slide?
No, they looked terrified. They looked terrified, and then I got up and I was like, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna go. And then I left, and they were like, what the fuck just happened?
Oh my God.
But anyway, that was my story. I don't remember why. Oh, 'cause kids were sliding. Anyway.
Blood in the water really reminds me of this story that happened quite recently at the pool.
Oh boy. Okay.
So there's this little girl at the pool, and she loves the rope swing. We see her. She comes in every week, every Friday,
Mhm.
and we know her quite well. But we didn't know what happened. There was the rope swing.
Yeah.
You know how those rope swings have like the knots and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
right? She went swinging.
She went swimming and then
went
she went
swinging.
home, and it was a horror story. Never saw her again. Didn't even get out of the water. Actually, don't know what happened to her.
I just went on the swing, and she tried to let go of the swing, and I don't know how it happened because I wasn't there. I literally got off work like an hour before this happened.
Uh-huh.
But her front adult tooth
Oh shit.
got caught.
What the hell?
That's
The
disgusting.
whole of her body weight almost
God.
pulled her tooth out.
Almost.
And we actually got a photo of it to send to her parents because we knew her parents very well.
Yeah.
And they rushed her to the emergency room. They said, we don't deal with dental. And they called 4 dental places, and they're all closed, saying, nope, don't want to deal with this.
Yeah.
And they eventually got to one lady who said, oh my God, like, I will open up my dentist office.
That's what
and
happened with me too.
We're going to save this child's adult tooth.
Yeah.
Surgery and everything. But, like,
Jesus.
I remember looking at the picture, like, the tooth was down, and you could see her 2 roots.
Oh.
And like the little gap in between the roots, like
that's
this tooth was
delicious.
almost gone.
Oh my God.
Happy story though. She got her tooth fixed.
Go her.
She's on
good job.
applesauce right now,
That's
but
good, yeah.
No apples for her for the rest of her life. No solids. That reminds me of when I was younger. I was in the shower, showering with my sister, but she was wearing
Like
a
you
bathing
do.
suit. I was also wearing a bathing suit. Oh, maybe not. Who knows? And
anybody else
This
concerned
was
about
last
the
week,
age
by the
here?
way.
Yeah, exactly.
what?
This was last week.
This was this was yesterday. No, I forget. I was pretty young.
13.
I was pretty young, like 17 and a half. But no, I was in the shower and then I slipped and I fell. And you know, like the bathtub part, right?
Oh, yep.
I hit my 2 front teeth on that and bent them backwards.
Yikes. And that's why you talk with a lisp now.
Yeah, that's why I talk with a lisp. For
Wait,
sure.
I'm just kidding.
No, it could be. Who knows? I do blame that on my crooked adult teeth, because my 2 front
Do you have
ones.
crooked teeth?
My 2 front ones. One is
I can see that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe my roots got fucked up or something in the
You got some
accident.
beaver chompers there.
Yes, sir.
Real
Anyway,
Canadian.
yeah, the dentist opened the dentist office for me to fix my
Goddamn.
teeth.
Yeah.
And then I never took a shower for years after that. Only
Really?
baths, because I was traumatized.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I don't know if this
Do you
is true.
shower at all?
No. I remember a while ago, and I never planned on asking because I thought, oh, maybe he's got a dark history with this.
Oh God.
But
Yeah.
I don't know if this is real or not. I could just be making this up. We went to Castle Fun Park, and you didn't go on go-karts.
Oh yeah.
Is there a history with that? Because
Um.
Gordon was like, oh, he won't go. And I was like, why won't he go? And then I didn't want to ask because I didn't know if, do you have a history with go-karts
I
that
do.
went bad?
I have a lot of history with go-karts that always went bad. For one, I I hate going fast. First of all, in like
Really?
cars and anything. Yeah, it's just the murderers. Okay, it's the raccoon living in the door there.
He has a hunger for
I-
brunettes.
So anyway, yeah, I hate going fast,
Mhm.
like in cars and stuff like that. I have because I don't like that feeling in my stomach that everyone loves from roller
Really?
coasters and stuff. I hate that feeling.
Mhm.
I can't even go down some slides on like parks, on like children's parks, because I get that feeling.
Are you
and
scared of heights?
I'm not scared of heights. I just don't like that feeling.
Right.
It's a weird thing.
Okay.
I don't like feeling. I don't like my body is not in homeostasis.
Yeah.
Anyway, with go-karts though, I went go-karting with Noah
Mhm.
for his little brother's birthday one year, I think it was. I don't know. Anyway, it was those drifting ones that you could kind of drift around the corners. And I hit the wall
Mhm.
so hard that I got whiplash, and the
Mhm.
seatbelt like left a bruise all the way up, like
Yeah.
right there on my neck. I was like, I could have fucking broke something for sure,
Yeah.
because I was like, it was so close to just being on my neck.
Mhm.
Anyway, what, Cam? You want to talk about my traumatizing go-kart past?
I can just see an Ian this tall, like walking out of a go-kart, like they should have airbags, and like just absolutely losing on this car. He was probably
Where
stoned
is
out of
the
his
manager?
mind.
Where is the manager?
Somebody's getting a suit.
Yeah, I am going to. Do you
You
know
won't
my
have your job
parents?
tomorrow, mister.
I have very powerful parents. They are teachers, and they will scold you.
They will teach you.
They will teach you a
They'll
lesson.
send you to the office.
No, but that was one traumatizing. And then
Okay.
after I did do the go-karts in the end at Castle Fun Park.
Did you?
Oh, maybe
I
not.
don't think you did, because I think I offered it to you, and then Gordon was like, no, he doesn't want to go.
No, at the end we did them one last time.
And you did it?
Yeah, and I
Oh,
did it.
okay,
I just
okay.
went really slow. Also, I hate the go-kart person here.
Mhm.
Sorry. I
didn't know there
haven't
was
gone in a
go-karts
long
here.
time. Yeah, and well, they're by the golf course, Saratoga Speedway.
Mm.
And the guy used to just be a dick. I don't know, but that was probably because I was just a sensitive little kid.
Mhm.
But he was very stern, which is fair. He's dealing with kids' lives in the hands of
Yeah.
go-karts.
Yeah.
So I understand why he's being so stern on the rules now. But back then I was like, he scares me. Go-karts, because he scared me into thinking, oh yeah, I could die with this.
Mhm.
So then I just was kind of have a weird thing with go-karts going fast and all that.
Mhm.
And then I did it at Castle Fun Park, and I finally worked up the courage to go to the same drifting ones
Mhm.
again, like last year.
Mhm.
And that's how I bent my phone.
Oh.
So I have a very bad relationship with go-karts and because I hit a wall when I was drifting. Frick.
Yeah.
I hit a wall when I was drifting, and my phone was on my hip like that,
Right.
and it was a hot day, and it went boom, and I was like, I hope I didn't break my phone, because I felt it like hit where my phone was,
Yeah.
the edge of the chair,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh no, I'm sure it's fine. And then I take out my phone, and I turn it on, I'm like, okay, good, my phone's on, my phone works, like I didn't smash the screen or anything like that.
Just
And then I'm like, why does it feel weird? And I turn it, and it's just.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just bent. And I was trying everything I could to bend it back, but I could not for the life of me.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's my history with go-karts. Traumatizing experiences. I don't like them.
Do you have
but-
any traumatizing experiences?
I was just gonna say that whole go-kart story reminds me of a story when I was very, very young. It was probably
Okay.
one of the first fairs I went to
Uh-huh.
with my mom and my grandma. I think it was somewhere like in Cranbrook. I was very young, but I remember it was the first time ever I went on like one of those like drop coasters.
Yeah.
And now, just a little bit of background knowledge for you. I just finished a wilderness mental health first aid course,
Mhm.
and it talks about the symptoms of a panic attack. Now, a panic attack, you get this feeling in your chest, and it's they basically describe it as lizard brain. It is the most primal reaction in your brain where you're just like, there's a wolf right there, and like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
You could breathe really fast, and you could literally say, like, I think I'm having a heart attack. I think I'm having a heart attack.
Yeah.
But as that goes on, you just start breathing really loud, and you start freaking out, and you're not thinking right. All you want to do is get out of the location or whatever is causing your panic attack. It could be anything.
Yeah.
Now, the first time I went on like those little drop of doom things,
Oh.
I was tiny, and it wasn't one of those big ones. It was just one of like the medium ones, like the small ones. And I remember telling my mom and grandma, like, I want to go on that. I totally want to do it. And
A steak.
I go on, and my mom's like, you sure you want to do that? Like, it drops down really fast. And I'm like, nah, I'm good.
I got it.
I didn't realize it went up slow.
Oh, yeah.
And the suspense build, and I was like,
This movie can
and
do.
then click, down and up, and down and up.
It was like a up and down kind of one.
And I was screaming at my mother. She has a video of me screaming at her, like, let me off. No!
Why would you let me do this, you bitch?
No! This is my dad. And then it started going up and down like crazy. And then I'm like, I'm having a heart attack. I'm having a heart attack. And my
love
mom
those
and
videos.
grandma are like pissing themselves laughing at me.
I love those videos of kids doing the drop rides and they throw up. Like hits them in the face. Have you seen
I like the ones where they pass out and they come up and they're like, "Ah!" They go back out again.
Have you guys ever been on a ride that almost made you pass out?
I do have a ride story. Two things, because you remind me of panic attack. On my drive home
First
from
time I had sex, I had a panic.
I just needed to get out of there. So,
Jesus Christ.
There's a really good story to that.
Oh, God. Okay, you want to talk about it on the
something we can talk about
podcast?
on your-
Sure, I'm fine with it.
Okay, I'm gonna say this really well. So I had my parents driving me home from my surgery the other day, and I was listening to a podcast.
Ooh, Women's
And-
Conversations? Self-promo?
No, it was another. It was Michael Rosenbaum.
Okay.
Inside
Oh,
of You.
yeah.
He did another one with Steven.
Mm-hmm.
And Arrow just ended, and it's like he keeps asking him like, so what are you gonna do next? What are your plans? What are your plans? And you can hear like in the interview. Well, for one, the interview started, and Steven was like, I've already cried 2 times today. I'm scared I'm gonna cry again today.
Yeah.
And he was like, whoa, you're like a man. You're like, you shouldn't be crying. And then you hear his like voice, like, and you hear his breath. And he's like, I'm like sweating. It's really hot in here, guys. And he just like full out had a whole panic attack.
Really?
In it, like you hear it all happen. It was
Oh my
actually,
God.
it was like, not to be sadistic, but it was actually really interesting to see, like slowly within an hour, you hear this guy actually have a panic attack, like on a live podcast.
Exactly, because
And they
not
put it
many
up.
people get to see that, right?
No. Yeah.
And it's not scary. Sometimes it's gradual, and sometimes it's sudden. But people who usually have panic attacks know what to do. People who don't usually see that usually send them to the hospital all the time. All the time.
Yeah, he said he like went home and he was like freaking out, and it was like he had cold sweats, but he had a blanket on, and his wife was like, you need to go to the hospital right now, and he was just freaking out. And then they were gonna delete that podcast, and he's like, no, put it on the internet. Actually, in a week from now, I'm gonna feel better, and let's finish the podcast. So the video breaks, and then it goes like to a week later, and he's back in the studio, and he's like, okay, so let's talk about what happened. It was real interesting.
Cool.
That was a little off topic. I just want to say it was actually very fascinating.
That is
'cause He's
interesting.
a successful man. It's interesting to see people who have success can have hard times like that too.
Yeah.
I wish somebody on this podcast had a panic attack.
We'll talk about my
About your little moment.
first experience then.
Okay, I gotta say my roller coaster thing. I'm sorry.
right,
I
yeah,
just gotta
sorry.
do it quick. So, I
Just
hate
like
roller
Cam's
coasters.
first.
I hate roller coasters. Hate them. And there was the Campbell River little what do you call it? The
Fair,
fair that
yeah.
would come in. There's that really sketchy drop ride.
Mhm.
And Jada was like, you should do it with me. And I hate rides. And I was like, okay, I'll just do this one.
Trying to impress her.
I'm never doing a ride.
Was this
after
before you were dating or while
This
you
is
were
while we were dating.
Okay.
And we go, and I get in the ride, and there's this drunk guy beside me. I have no idea who he is. And I don't remember what he did. He's something really weird. But we're going up, and he grabs me and goes, oh, here we go. And he's grabbing me. I'm like, let
You let me go right now.
At this point already, Jada was like, are you ready, Oscar? Are you ready? And I looked at her and went, shut up. I'm
Oh
not.
my God.
I hate rides. Literally, it was the most angry
Don't
I've
talk
ever
to
been.
me. We're breaking up as soon as this ride drops.
I was fucking thinking that.
Yeah.
It makes me so stressed out. Nobody can talk to me while this
I
is happening.
am the same
And so
way.
the guy grabbed me like that, and he was like, here we go. We get to the top, and it's shaking and all this weird shit. And I was like, okay, I can do this. I'm good. And then he goes, hey, watch this. And I look, and he goes like this, and he grabs the top of the thing, like the thing that doesn't drop.
Yeah.
The top of the fucking thing. He's like, look, I'm hanging. I'm like, if this thing goes down, your arms are ripping off, dude.
Holy
He was like totally just blackout drunk, and he was like, whoa, look at me. I was like, holy fuck.
I don't want to look at you. You're gonna die.
That's my story. Then we drive. He was fine.
Okay,
he
you let go.
clearly.
Thank God.
But like as soon as I saw that, I just I was just hanging there. And he was like, Oscar, are you okay? I'm like, shut up.
If he
shut
didn't
up.
let go,
Shut
there's
up.
just blood
I
all
would've
over you when
watched
you
someone
get
die.
down. You're like, she's like, wasn't that fun?
Oh yeah, and then we get to the bottom. And they're like, all right, one more. And I was like, no, let me off. Like the guy who like, does the machine, I was like, get me off this thing. And the guy beside me goes, oh, you don't want another one, you pussy.
I just saw you die. Wait, how old were you?
It was like last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was like, get me the fuck off this thing. And then the guy was like, oh, you pussy, you're not going to stay on.
I thought you were talking about like when you were like 6 or something,
this
and
was,
this
like,
guy
last
just
year.
comes up.
You thought he was dating Jada when he was 6 years old.
We've been together for a long time.
Be friends.
That's true, I guess.
Yeah, no, it was like last couple years ago. But
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
that's my story. Anyway, talk about your interesting panic attack.
So it was actually so it was a very long relationship, and my longest relationship I've ever had, and it was when I was in grade 10. She was in grade 12, and we both,
Ooh.
we
Older women, that's the way I get.
Wow. Me too. A month older.
So we've been talking about it a lot, and this was just before I moved here to Campbell River, and she's never had sex, and I've never had sex, and it was kind of this big moment that we're all kind of, anticipating, and point A led to point B, and everything was fine during, you have the normal
then he got an
sweats and.
itch.
And then someone started itching.
That's when Camp
I
Bed
couldn't
already
put
had
my
the clap.
finger on it
No,
because I
no,
couldn't
no.
find it.
It was what she said to me afterward.
Oh no.
Is that when it was over?
That was adequate.
And no, we rolled over, and she sat up, and she said, "Went, huh? That didn't hurt as bad as I thought it would." And she got up,
Oh, my.
like her first time ever, and she's like, "Wow, that wasn't so bad."
Hey, you know what? I didn't even feel it.
And she just stands up and says, "I gotta go pee," and like, I literally just sat on the edge of the bed, like,
Having an existential crisis. Just
and then like after she went to the bathroom, she said, "Oh, sorry, I just gotta rip down to the store or whatever. You want to come?" And I said, "No, I'm fine."
Boom.
Just give me a minute.
I said no, and she said, "Okay, then, like just shower and make yourself at
Yeah.
home. Oh, let's make some lunch. You think about what you want to make for lunch." And I said, "Okay." I didn't move from the bed. Like I was literally just sitting there, like,
No.
I'm
one
not a
of-
sex machine. Like, I never will be a sex machine.
Like a 16-year-old Cam thinking about his life. Like,
That wasn't groovy, baby. Yeah, I have a question for you. Just one quick. How do you describe an old beach? Because you said you went to an old beach.
I went to an old beach. Like, I want to describe it as like there were like wood stumps there. Like most beaches, people who own beachfront, they're like manicure it.
Oh, okay.
Like, especially in Nelson over there, like there are people that would literally stack rocks on their beach to say like this
It's
is
our
my
beach.
Oh, this is my beach.
My beach.
My waterfront.
These rocks were here after I was born. I put these rocks here. I went to a different beach, grabbed rocks, and made this beach.
I stole some other sap's rocks. Made
my
of my rocks.
great-grandpappy built this, and then my great-grandpappy put the other day, and then my pappy put the other layer, and I was the one to put this layer, and my son will be the one to put the next layer.
My son is in Hawaii right now gathering rocks as we speak from a volcano, and he will bring them back.
Don't you touch my beach. Is that it, kind of?
Explain your story.
Well, no, like just it was a lovely day, but like the moral of the story is that there was a lot of sun, lot of heat, a lot of summer activities, and not a lot of water.
Oh,
Like I was on the verge of dehydration. Well, that's my excuse anyway. So
you just kind of went.
no, it did not go.
I just didn't have anything to drink today. Usually doesn't happen.
No, I totally remember going back to her place and, we were like flirting around, watching a couple episodes on Netflix. And then she's like, you know what? Like,
Watching how it's made. And just
we started watching how to make screws and how it's made.
It gave me an idea. Screw?
Bunch
Nuts,
of, like,
bolts.
documentaries about how they like use how they make patties for like
Yeah.
burgers or whatever. That
Cam's
disgusting
like-
way of like cutting up cows, and you're like, speaking of which, cows.
This reminds
Cows,
me.
meat, grindage. Yeah, Ian's job.
Turned him on. Anyway,
I am 16 years old, and I am at 50. Oh no! I
okay.
felt so bad about
We've
myself.
all been there, right?
Walk out of
on
her
the
house.
diddly squat.
This is the best part, because we walk out of the house, and I'm like starting to get this massive headache. And it was really cool. At the side of the house, there were these slugs mating. I'm not too sure if you've ever seen slugs
That's
mating.
the last thing you want to see after you've just been rejected.
Exactly
I
right.
fucking get it, but I can't. What the fuck?
Because like it's really
And the
cool
sling
how
had a
slugs
massive
do it.
dong like that.
Slugs just going crazy.
Slugs literally find like two pieces of grass, and then they make this mucus, and they literally just like twist tie around each other like a
Wow,
lollipop.
that's cute.
You know how they make those lollipops?
That's
how
actually
I
how.
do it,
Yeah,
too.
that's
Yeah,
how my
yeah.
girlfriend and I.
Except it's not mucus.
No, it's saliva. It's we just. That's why you couldn't do it. You were dehydrated. You couldn't form enough saliva to make the mucus. You just.
I just remember her like getting down like and looking at him and like wow that like this is so cool, like I have never seen this ever, and I honestly I thought it was really cool.
And then you stepped on the slug.
I said, could we please go?
Can we get some salt, please? Just.
Oh god.
I'm tired and I got a headache and I'm feeling pretty terrible. I just want to go home.
I can just picture two people, if that was how humans made it, sitting across from each other like old people trying to wet their mouths to make the mucus like. Just staring at each other like, you just wait till I get a little droplet.
I'm not performing as well as I usually do. Just give me a minute.
Cam, what the hell's the matter with you? I walked in on my grandparents trying to spit on each other today. Keyword, trying.
Anyway, about the hitting the penis.
Yeah, you want to talk
thing.
about your slapstick?
It wasn't my slapstick comedy. It was I went on a school trip with some friends to Hawaii.
Oh yeah.
A band trip, you know.
As the white
I've heard a
people
lot of
do.
stories
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah.
But
I don't think you've heard this one.
not this one. No.
No.
But I know a lot of.
We
stuff
had
happened.
it was a room of 4 boys.
Okay.
One of them was very tall. The rest of us were like me. So one of them was the big boy. Hit puberty a bit earlier than the rest of us, I'd say. Anyway, he was known for having a large appendage. But
What's an appendage?
He had a big penis. Oh.
yeah,
Emphasis on had.
he wants that. After the story, no.
After the slap.
And then, as boys do, you know, conversations got a little crazy, and then we started searching some stuff up.
Yeah.
As you do. As you do. Now, I was in a different bed from this man. He was sharing it with
But
someone
somehow
else.
he found his way into yours.
In the middle of the night or so, right after we finished watching stuff and having conversation, not doing anything with it, just having conversations about it. Him trying to show us something about it.
Yeah.
Because one of his favorites or something like that.
Oh, okay.
He stands up because someone makes a remark to him, and he's just wearing underwear. Very, very
Tight.
confident man.
Okay.
He stood up, and you can see the underwear going like that a little bit. And of course, Noah and I, who were in the same bed, turn and we're like, we got something going on there, and we all start laughing, of course, because it's a funny sight. You've never seen an erect man before. He looks down, and with the force of like God himself, just goes whack. Instantly, just goes. Completely. He slaps.
Tamed the beast.
He slaps all sexual desires away from him, and it was impressive.
I still think of like Ace Ventura when that happens.
It's like, it was. He stands up
Taming
and we're
the
like,
beast,
"What
man."
the?" And we start laughing, and he just goes, "Oh, bam!" Goes away
And then
instantly.
he goes to sleep, and then all of you go. I want to try that.
Yeah.
And then he wakes up to all of you.
No, I have yet to master it. I'm scared to try it, honestly. Hitting it with such force to make it
I
good.
mean, Ian can put a brick in half, so I don't know if
I
I
know.
really want to.
Exactly. You don't want to.
Yeah.
You don't want to mess with that.
Don't want to be splitting timber there, everybody.
Okay. Any
it.
more?
Yeah, I got a 2x4.
Centimeters?
It's no 2x6, but you know.
Oh my god.
Horizontal or vertical?
Yeah, I got a 3x3. Everybody stays fucking quiet.
16 by 16.
What?
Nobody just show off. All right, go on.
I didn't say I did.
No, okay,
It's
true.
like sitting on your laptop.
You guys seen elephantitis or whatever that is? The guy
What?
has to carry his ball sack around in a wheelbarrow. Cause it's
Oh no, I've never
massive.
seen that.
I'll show you
That's
later.
Oh, the South Park episode?
No, it's
No,
an
it's a
actual
real man,
person.
yeah.
Oh. I remember South Park, and like Randy is going down the street, you know, just with a wheelbarrow and his nuts in it, and he's just like singing Buffalo Soldier because he's going to go get his medicinal marijuana.
cute is
He's
that?
like, Buffalo Soldier.
Like seriously, think about like living a life like that.
And they were like cats with like big eyes and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And then he was in the same room. He was like, "Hey, come on, just look at these little funny pictures." And he got to one. He's like, "Ha ha ha!" Clicked it. Ha ha ha! We like did a little shared a little laugh. And then one was just the Photoshop of a guy whose dick wrapped around. He was carrying it over his shoulder. And my dad just went. He didn't know how to react. Like that's how would you react if you have your like little son? He went, "That's inappropriate," and then just closed the website.
How little of a son did he have at the time?
It was 17.
It was no way younger than that. I don't know, like super young. Like I'd say maybe grade 1.
I usually go by grades. I usually don't go by age.
I don't. Yeah, exactly.
I haven't. I'm not adulting enough to go by age
yeah, come
yet.
on now.
How old are you? 21. So that's like grade 13.
What you're
47.
buying?
Oh, what are we
college?
talking here? Grade 29? What are we doing here?
That's just old.
That's what we're gonna do for our birthday cakes from now on. When you have your next birthday, I'm gonna be happy grade like 15th birthday, Cameron.
Even when you just say cakes, I think about a story
Of ZM.
of ZM.
He's coming on next week, so
And next week he can tell you the story
Yeah.
about how Kelly and I abused him with milkshakes
yeah,
and apologized for it with an ice cream cake.
yeah.
My side of the story is when we brought the ice cream cake, we brought it for everybody at the table.
He ate it all, didn't he?
Zach thought it was all for himself. He took like a third of the cake as his piece,
Uh-huh.
and then I took it away from him, and I started cutting up slivers for like teachers and
Yeah.
kids that all knew the story. And I remember Zach almost like pushed over Maddie Mortimer and Avery Foy.
Where's my cake?
to get his cake back, and he didn't
Oh
even
my
finish
God.
his cake that
Just
he
still
had.
cake on his face.
What a guy.
I remember looking at Kelly like, this was a bad idea. Like, we should have gotten him like bran muffins.
As an apology,
Should have put like weights on his legs.
Here's-
Weighted belts while he's chasing you
get
for
the
cake.
handcuffs on the chair.
I'm kidding, Zach Masters. I love you, buddy.
He's a great guy.
I don't know anybody who is more like golden retriever like. You know what I
That's
mean?
a good
Like,
way to put it.
if I were to get a dog, it would be
Loyal.
a golden retriever. Like it's always positive,
Yeah, they're great.
and like sometimes they're a little rambunctious,
that's
but you
okay.
just
They're
go,
adorable.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like you ripped
gotta
up my
love 'em.
pillows.
But
I'm
you
not
look
even
cute.
mad. That's going to be a great Facebook post. People are going to love this.
Yeah. We'll talk about this more when he gets here, but I definitely respect him for the amount of shit that he takes and has
Yeah.
been able to make it through all these years
And he
without.
deals with it like a champ.
Yeah.
No, and especially when I first moved here, I just remember like everybody ripping on Zach Masters.
And so no one had time
and then
to go
I
for
started
you.
ripping on him. But like my backstory with that, the reason I'm so hard on Zach is because he's one of the strongest people I know.
Yeah.
And I know he could take it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if you're, well, I'm sorry, boys, but if you're close enough to me,
Yeah.
I go hard.
Yeah, yeah.
It's okay. I get it. I understand.
That's a strong
I haven't
way
been
of doing
insulted yet. So.
I go hard on people until
Except
they
for
go
your
hard
uncle
on
that
me,
one time.
and then I'm like, whoa, that was uncool.
Speaking of hard, you want to talk about your first time because you seem to not be able to do that.
it. Okay.
I'm just trying
moving on.
I'm just trying to make a friendship with you.
Cam just like gets discipline leaves.
I like what you did there. But remember, it was the second time.
Second time. Sorry. Oh my god.
You keep up, Ian.
Almost
Come on.
worse.
Trying to get a friend who listens first.
Cam, I've been writing everything down. Don't worry.
I only got one eye, and it's not. For some reason, I wrote things out twice on this side because I got double vision.
Oscar just writes on half the page.
But it's only half of what everything would be.
Yeah.
It's just not-
Right as he's like, his vision leaves, his pen leaves the paper, but he still writes in the air. It's like cuts off half his words.
Don't worry, guys. I remember. I have a great memory. I wanted to segue to what we were talking about in the car. Some stories about maybe being a lifeguard hero, or some just police stories. Any of those you can share with us?
Well, for those who don't know, my dad is an RCMP officer. Grade 8 was my first party I went to in the Kootenays.
Mm-hmm.
And the way parties worked in the Kootenays is if you had pallets, you had a pallet fire.
Okay.
And if you had a pallet fire at Shore Acres, we called it Shakers. I remember that party I went to had over 160 kids at it.
Oh shit.
So Dad's an RCMP officer, and my first party was in grade 8. 160 people down by a beach with pallet fires. This is usually in the wintertime too. The coldest party I ever went to was negative 26 degrees Celsius.
Damn.
Nice.
The fire literally melted the snow and ice. That was like considerably deep, like
Yeah.
by 15 feet like diameter.
Jesus Christ.
People would stand that 15 feet away from the fire because it would literally burn their legs. Like,
Yeah.
It was awesome there. So grade 8, and I told my dad about this party. I was really nervous to go because there was this grade 12 girl that invited me to go.
Was that your girlfriend?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
I was in grade 8 at this time.
Right.
This
sorry. You were
was like
grade
just
10
some
when-
like crazy attractive girl that I was like, what?
Oh, okay.
And it turns out she was also my volleyball coach too, so highly unprofessional. So I remember her inviting me to this party, and my friends were like, "Oh, dude, you have to go." You know, like typical grade 8 stuff, right?
Yeah, definitely. My typical grade 8. I definitely wasn't just sitting there playing with Lego. And
See, you guys had a middle school. I had a secondary school. That was grade 7 to 12, all in the same school.
That's fair.
And shit got crazy. I remember going home. I remember trying to shave, and then like it did not work. I think I had what people call a reverse landing strip. I think it was professionally called a snow plow, where you just kind of plow the road and that's it.
Oh, God.
But the snow's still everywhere, right?
Yeah.
You get what I mean.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
understand.
we get the message.
That's not what you're supposed to
You get it, right?
I just wax.
When Cam breaks the fourth wall, it's a problem. You get it, don't you? You in there.
I'm looking at you.
You know.
You know who I'm talking to.
You know what I'm talking about. The snowplow.
Did it just get hot in here?
It's the lights. It's the fluorescence.
Exactly. I looked at my dad and I said, "Hey, can I go to this party?" He said, "Yeah, sure, I'll drive you." And I went, "Oh, you're working tonight?" And he said, "Yeah, I think I work at 8 or something like that." And I said, "Okay, what time are you off?" He said, "Oh, I'm off at 3:30. Why don't I pick you up at 3:30 in the morning?"
Oh, God.
Yeah, okay.
This sounds like a plan. Yeah.
So I went to this party with my dad. He dropped me off,
Mhm.
told me no drinking or whatever.
Mhm.
First 5 seconds I was there, I got a beer thrown at me. And are you guys familiar with the term paddling?
No.
It is when the senior students
Oh, okay, yeah. You get
have
paddled.
cricket bats with holes in it, and they paddle you on your ass.
Yeah.
And they could do it as many times. It's usually around 10 or 15 if they really don't like you. But you literally have to stand there like against a tree and take it, because if you run away, they will chase you, and they don't care if they break your collarbone or not.
Okay.
And it's just a tradition.
Yeah.
And here on Vancouver Island, you don't have any traditions like that, which I was really shocked about. Because for my grade 12 year, I didn't get to paddle a single person.
I mean, you could have. We wouldn't have stopped. I wouldn't have been opposed to it.
I would have made the news.
Yeah. For sure. We would have been talking about you on the podcast right now from prison.
I remember having my first drink ever at that party,
Uh-huh.
even though I told my dad no drinking.
Yeah.
It was about 2 mouthfuls of $8 whiskey. It was in a plastic Mickey,
Yeah.
and this big fat guy, he was sitting there on the pallets, and he's like, "Cam, have some of this." And I had 2 full like glugs, and I gave it back to him, and he went, "You drank my liquor." And he stood up, like he's just huge guy, and he said, "I want you to give that back to me right now." And he punched me in the stomach.
Oh my god.
And he started like hitting me, and then I'm like, "No, no, no!" And he's like, "Nah, kid, I love you, kid." And he gave me a hug, and he's like, "I'll go to find more booze because you drank it all."
Oh my god.
Oh, what a guy.
And he like ambles off into the distance.
He was never seen again.
But no, I remember it was such a good time. I remember there was Spanish exchange students there too. They were also in grade 8 with us, and like they went to this party, and I thought that more crazy. But no, 3:30 came around. My dad picked me up in a police car
Oh boy.
and drove me home. And he said, "How was your first party?" I'm like, "I really liked it."
Did everyone scatter when he came, or?
No,
Really?
nobody even knew.
People actually
Like, I
started
just-
piling
I just-
aside.
yeah.
You're like, yeah, I drank.
I just walked up the hill, and I was walking along the train tracks for a little bit.
Yeah.
And got picked up in the car, and
Okay.
Went home.
So he didn't like pull right up, like, hey, whoop.
no,
Cam.
he wanted to. He
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, they'd call you a narc for sure."
Yeah. That would ruin your reputation a little.
Yeah, you wouldn't be invited anymore after that.
And the funny thing, especially about Shore Acres, there's a bridge, and on one side that's the Castlegar jurisdiction where my dad works.
Yeah.
On the other side, it's Nelson, but Nelson's farther away.
Okay.
So the parties never got called in ever,
Yeah.
and my dad was fine if I went to the parties as long as I was on the right side of the bridge.
Okay.
If I was on the left side, no,
Fair.
not at all.
That's cool.
That's how you roll.
Mm-hmm.
Any other
Any lifeguard stories?
lifeguard
I
story? Have you
got
ever
plenty.
saved a life before?
Yeah, have you saved a life? Been a goddamn hero?
I've jumped in the water for somebody 5 times in all of my time training to be a lifeguard and being a lifeguard.
Yep.
I remember the first time I was a lifeguard, like in the training, they made me wear a yellow shirt that said "in training" on the back. And the layout of this pool was kind of stupid because the hot tub was here, and so were the steam rooms, and then it was like a ramp, and then it was straight to like the deepest end of the pool, like plus
Okay.
15 feet. It was really deep. And there was this little baby kid running around in the hot tub. Dad splashed it, and it went, "Ah!" and it ran all the way, and it was beelining straight for the deep end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember looking over my left shoulder, picking it up like a football, and spinning it around. The kid was just looking up at me. And then when I put it back down on the ground, it saw Dad, and it went, "Ah!" and it ran right back over. And he said, "Oh, thank you." Like he was standing up, getting out of
Yeah,
the hot
yeah,
tub. And I
yeah.
said, "No worry." Kept looking at the pool. My instructor was like making hard eye contact with me.
You put your
And-
sunglasses
and
back on and walked away.
And he gave me the thumbs up.
Yeah.
That's a hero right there.
That's our boy.
Being
So-
certified as a lifeguard was probably the hardest thing.
Yeah?
I passed that course by the hair of my teeth.
Yeah.
I took a
The
first.
hair of your teeth?
Yeah, like that shouldn't happen,
Yeah.
right? Like I almost felt like I shouldn't have been passed because I took a standard first aid course that was not relevant to the Life Saving Society of BC. Are you guys familiar with spinal injuries like
A little bit.
C-spine, lumbar spine?
Okay.
Lumbar, you walk and talk, but you have a spinal cord injury.
Yeah.
And like, let's say if somebody had a lumbar and you decide to punch them in the back, they could probably be quad or paraplegic
Okay.
easily. So that's really not fun.
Mhm.
And I've never seen that ever before. And they said, all right, so these are your simulations. If you pass them, you're a lifeguard. If you don't pass them, you're not a lifeguard. And I
If
had
you don't pass, do you have to start the whole thing up from the beginning again?
$600 course,
Oh.
start it all over again.
Damn. You went
That's
through it
intense.
once, though. You made it the first.
Made it the first time
Goddamn.
because I moved about a few months later.
Oh, okay.
Funny thing, like I was doing that course while my parents were looking for houses on Vancouver Island. I missed out on that trip to become a lifeguard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know when I had that lumbar spine come up to me, I was very smart because I had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
I made my partner, my secondary lifeguard,
Okay.
become the first lifeguard. So she told me what to do,
Okay.
and I learned while I was doing it.
Yeah.
And when I was sitting in the office of my instructor, he said, "I saw what you did there." And like, not gonna lie, that was very smart of you to do.
Yeah.
But like, it's obvious you didn't know anything. And I told him the story about what course I took, and he said, "Oh, you took it with that guy? That's his first standard first aid he's ever taught. He's only ever done wilderness." And I said, "I know." 2-day course. The first day, all we did was learn how to make splints out of sticks. But we were in like this office, right? So like people started like connecting whiteboard markers
Oh
together
my god.
and taping them around. And he's like, "Yeah, sure, you pass."
Jesus Christ.
So silly.
What was it like moving here for the first? Was it like, cause Oscar and I. Well, no, Oscar moved here too. I'm the only person here who's been here my whole life, and I've never moved from my house or anywhere before. I don't know what it's like going to a different school or anything like that. What was it like for you? Because you came after Oscar, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I came in grade 9.
Okay, and you came in grade
10.
10. Okay, so what
Sorry,
was it?
11.
11. Wow, really?
Yeah. End of grade
'Kay.
10, start of grade
Because
11.
we weren't even really friends till grade 12, I guess. Did
Yeah,
we-
I thought you were just. I didn't even know who Peen was.
Yeah.
I only knew Ian, but
Yeah.
not Peen.
uh-huh.
Then you found out who Peen was. There's a
Yeah,
whole
oh,
other story,
yeah. So what was that like transition like for you?
Well, Dad being RCMP, we move around every 4 years.
Okay.
About 40 years ago, that was you would move
About
every
4 years ago, I was born.
It all started 4 years ago when I was born.
Sorry, continue.
No worry. But like back in the day, like say if my grandpa was RCMP, his family would have to move around every 2 years.
Okay.
And it's a big, long process about getting a promotion and going to a new location that is similar to yours. For example, if you grew up in Nunchuck, Newfoundland, and there is literally only one stop sign for 100 miles, they will not send you to Vancouver with a whole bunch of like streets and stop signs and everything. They just wouldn't do that to you. They'll put you to a place similar to that.
And you'll slowly move up and
Yep. My dad grew up in Kelowna, so that's kind of like the happy medium of cities.
Yeah.
That being said, I was born in Vancouver, lived in Richmond until my sister was born. We moved to Texada Island. I'm not sure if you guys have been to Texada Island.
No.
It's just basically when you go to like Comox area and you go down to the Goose Spit, it's right in between us and the mainland.
Okay.
Very beautiful place. I still love that place. My dad worked there for quite a few years, up until 2006. His job was literally to find weed farms,
Oh.
and they had a special task force for that because Texada Island was just crawling with weed farms and people
Okay.
growing. So he would get in a helicopter and literally go around the entire island looking for weed grow-ups.
Wow.
They made all their busts, and they were sure like there was nothing else going on. And the helicopter pilot said, "You know what? Like, I still have a few days here. If you want to take you and your family out for a ride in the helicopter,
Yeah.
let's do it." And I got photos of
Nice.
tiny me with like headphones the same size as these ones.
Yeah.
But it's almost covering my face. Right?
Yeah, totally, yeah.
No, but after Texada Island, moved to the Kootenay area, 2006, right across from a lumber mill, and I went to school there for 11 years. My dad went to Castlegar for 4 years, Trail for another 4, back to Castlegar for about 3.
Oh.
And yeah, I guess I moved before.
So this isn't like something crazy for you to move here. It's like
No.
just the same as any other move.
You know, like you say that, but I was just out of like preschool on like my first move I could remember.
Yeah.
It didn't freaking matter to me that I moved in preschool.
Yeah.
I'd imagine moving in grade 11 would be a lot more of like oh shit, I just started making like a lot of friends, having to leave those people behind, because you grow connections with people a lot more when you're older, in my opinion at least.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I went to the same school, and I went to I had the same people in my class for 11 years. My best friend in the whole world, met him the first day of kindergarten. You know why I became his best friend?
Why?
because he said pee and poo in the same sentence.
But
And nobody did that. Nobody
no,
did
that
that.
was that was a bold
that-
man.
That's the guy.
That, that was
Something
the
so
shit.
controversial yet so brave.
The talk of the town.
Yeah.
Oh my god, when he said penis,
It really blew the town apart. Yeah.
blew the town apart. And you know, like there are people that come and go. I remember there are many other people in my class that moved away.
Mm-hmm.
And there are many other people in my class that are like fourth generation living in the same house in the Kootenays. Never been to Kelowna, never been anywhere.
Would you say that like the move here was welcoming, or what? As far as your moves go, how was this one? How did this one treat you?
There's these two weird dickheads in my writing class.
Unfortunate.
I remember.
Wait 1 second. I'm just gonna stop
'Kay.
this and then.
Well, if the move was welcoming or not, that's really hard to say. I remember the drive here with all of our stuff and our horse trailer. We just bought a horse trailer before we moved.
Okay.
Almost brought the horse too, but
You had to kill it.
we're no.
I grinded it up last week, guys.
No, we're still looking for a place for that horse, but
Still
Is
own
it still? Yeah, you still own it?
yep. I used to be a horse person,
I
believe
used
it or
to be
not.
a horse
I used to
girl.
be half horse.
My father's a centaur.
I hate. Let's just talk about horse girls for a second. Fuck your story.
Yeah.
I have a huge issue with my hair, and it's from that girl.
Oh my god.
Oh, like
Really?
it was horrible. Like I would literally just sweat in class thinking about my hair,
Really?
and if it was right, and I just grow it out because apparently, I'm better now.
You and Oscar both. Mine is
I'm-
getting kind of long too now.
Last time I got my hair cut was prom, and I'm not gonna cut my hair for a whole year. So June of last year was the last time I got my hair cut. I'm not gonna cut my hair until June of this year.
You know what? I haven't cut my hair since prom either.
Booyah, booyah. Do a whole year.
Do
And
a
then-
whole
and
year?
then we'll do a checkup on each other. See how we did. Yeah.
Do a little back and
I
back.
do want to kind of cut my hair in summer or like
Yeah.
close to summer. I got
Yeah.
a job coming back up in Nelson.
Oh, well then you might have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you moving again soon?
I don't plan on moving for a little while.
So do you like it here? That's my.
I do love it. Here.
Okay.
I love it here just because of the amount of things you could do. And I'm so close to the ocean.
That's funny.
I mean, I'm kind
I
of.
understand. I get it. The point of view. Just a lot of people say the opposite. Where it's like, there's nothing to fucking do in this town. Goddamn.
I think it's like I think it's because you live here though. Because when me and my brother moved here, it was like, oh, you can do everything here. And then we lived here for a while, and we're like, this place fucking bombs. And then my brother went back to Alberta, and he keeps wanting to come back here so he can hike and everything. Like he's like, oh, there's so much.
Yeah,
to do here."
exactly.
So
There's
I was
like
just going to
that
say,
you've
yeah,
lived
because
there.
everybody knows Alberta's just, like crawling with things to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly it's got so much. My brother's a goddamn basketball player, so all he does is play basketball. When he comes here, he just goes to the sportsplex.
Oh, okay.
But like, he also really wants to hike and stuff. But
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Clearly, Alberta's thriving on things, entertainment-wise.
Yeah.
Anyway,
There's slides that you can
slides you can hit
stop
each other in the
yourself.
head with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently.
We got,
Anyway, yeah.
strip
Sorry about
clubs.
that. So you plan on staying here?
I plan on staying. I'm invested.
Okay.
I bought a surfboard,
Okay.
and I can't surf anywhere else.
That's fair.
I probably went to Tofino last summer on 5 different trips.
Really?
My first trip was with my sister and 2 friends. My sister, I rip on my sister all the time, but when I say my sister is the best co-pilot you could ask for, she is the best co-pilot you could ask for. Because my friend, she was sitting up in shotgun 30 minutes into the drive. I'm like, oh, I'm sweating. I got to take off this sweater. Here, take the wheel. And she said no. And I said,
Goddamn.
what do you mean no? Like, what if I had to eat a sandwich and, unwrap the wrapper? Like, are you just going to do that, or are you going to take the wheel for me
Yeah.
and just keep it straight? We're on the freeway right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she said she would not do it. She would not do it,
Disrespect.
whatever. My sister's sitting behind me.
She
She
does.
takes it.
Undoes her seatbelt, says, I got you, Cam. And she's steering the car.
Jesus Christ.
You're
Goddamn
going
hero.
140 on the highway. And I
Goddamn
couldn't
hero.
see for 20 seconds of it because my, hoodie's over my head.
My God.
Those are the people in life that you can just always.
You can always
trust.
count on people to hold
Yeah.
your wheel.
Ian did that for me one time.
Did I?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
So,
I've done
yeah.
it for a lot of people.
Yeah. Ian saved my life.
I love holding people's. I'm like Jesus. I like
Yeah.
taking the wheel.
We were. I had a video idea where I would jump into the MacGyver River, like lake.
Yeah.
What was it? October. So it's
Something
kind
like
of cold. Jumped in the
A little
water.
chilly.
A little chilly. I came out. Holy shit, that was cold. Freezing my little cheeks off. And then we're driving home, and I'm like, Ian, my hands are so cold. So I put my hands against the vents in the car, and I said, Ian, you take the wheel. And I just the whole time, and Ian's just shotgun, riding around. It was good.
It's a good time.
Warmed up my hands.
Oh,
That's my story.
the first time I ever grabbed somebody's wheel, damn it!
The wheel just kind of went limp for some reason.
I had to slap it.
I'm sorry. I'm kidding. It's
Bullying Cam. I mean, I guess that's what you said when you're close
Yeah.
with someone. Yeah,
true.
Yeah, I mean it out of love.
Yeah. Honestly, it takes a lot of thought process and like energy to think of things like that to say to your friends.
Yeah.
Like something that's just good.
Yeah,
Most
you
of them
can't-
don't land and they just call you an asshole.
Yeah,
And hit you.
it's not fun to
Did you slap the wheel though?
Kim slaps the wheel,
Oh fuck! Now I'm going left
slaps it into drive.
into reverse.
It was the end of grade 8 and like start of grade 9 where I first got like a ride from like some of my older friends.
Yeah.
And
Are we still talking about sex or wheels?
we're talking about wheels, driving wheels.
I started getting rides from my older friends. And it was so great.
Brian was really good at it.
Brian, let me tell you something about him. When you would get rides from Brian, it was like the hottest experience ever because his AC was broken.
Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. Continue.
In the West Kootenay area, there is not much to do other than go skiing.
Yeah.
So we would drive to the ski hill and we'd go over the mountain pass. We would drive over the hills and like all these avalanche areas and rock rolling off the hill. And like you had to change the time by an hour because we're now over the mountain pass and it's Creston and they do this for like more farming hours in the day or whichever.
Daylight savings or whatever.
Daylight savings, but like they don't do that. They just keep the time the same all the time, but they just ask you to change your clock.
Right.
Any hooser, going to the ski hill, I'm like all fluffy in my brand new ski stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Buddy says, "Here, take the wheel for me." And like icy roads, gravel and salt on it. We're behind a snowplow. And he brings out this bong, puts it in between his legs. And I'm sitting there like, yo, what? Like, I've never seen one before. I thought weed was the devil back then.
Devil's lettuce, man. Yeah.
I thought, like, okay, if I smell that stuff, I'm going to get addicted
I'm gonna
to
die.
it. And, like, it's
It's game over from
game
that.
over. Like, I'll sell my body for weed. I thought weed
be
was
working
as
at
bad as
JJ's.
crack cocaine.
Oh yeah.
And like I was kind of freaking out. I didn't just worry. I just kind of put down the window while I'm driving, and
Yeah.
he like clears the bowl and everything, and he sticks it out the window when he pours it out all out of the water. And I'm like, aren't you going to drop it? And he's like, nah.
I don't drop.
No, I don't.
2
This-
weeks later, $450 bong
Oh my
just
God.
drops it on the mountain pass.
Oh.
Classic. Dude.
He's wearing gloves, right? Like,
Yeah.
I thought like
No grip.
you already took off one glove to do the lighter.
What a man.
And like I'm driving, you could use 2 hands. I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't have to. What are
Starts
you doing?
going like this with his pinky. It's just like
He's got the little
Yeah.
like teacup thing.
like he's not holding it like this. He's just holding it by the lip.
exactly just. Start whoa, flipping it and start doing bottle flips.
Catching it. What a guy. What's
Wow.
his name? Oh, you probably should.
No.
We'll go with Brian. Classic Brian.
So anyway, one of my friends
Every
murdered someone
Brian I
once.
know does that.
Yeah, classic
Oh, what
Brian.
a guy.
You guys know Orion?
Yes.
You know, has he been an asshole to you? I feel like everyone knows
you know
Orion
what?
that's
Like,
had,
he was-
You know,
Everyone's
everyone's met Orion that's been like a little, you know.
I've
A
had a
little
coworker Ryan,
Yeah.
and I've had a kid in my school named Ryan.
Yeah.
There were a couple Ryans that were like younger than me in my school, and like they had really like Russian Doukhobor names. Like, let me give you an example. It's not their
Ryan
last name.
Story-Didovsky.
Exactly. Or like
How do you know? You know him
Sukarukov.
too?
Like, and you're just like, what? Like, okay.
Like,
What do you call your nana?
Bubblish.
Bubblish. Yeah.
Bubblibble.
Nona.
I got my Nona.
Do ya?
Yeah, it's Italian.
Strabuzia.
Tutti fuori, you know?
Oh god. Anyway, so Ryans, you have just all the Ryans that I've met, not all. We've all met a Ryan that's been a bit of a
Is that
bit
water
of
in there?
trouble.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it from your?
It's
Where'd your
vitamin
carton
water.
go? Where'd your water
Cameron
carton
went to
go?
the store to get some water. I thought he meant like a water bottle, but he brought it.
That's where it is.
He bought this fucking.
He's thirsty. You gotta stay hydrated
There are no sinks in the
in the studio.
Cumberland streets.
Yeah.
before we got it though, he's like, I have just this weird thing against bottled water, and he gets the biggest fucking thing of bottled water.
You guys were fast, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
I
no,
thought we
you
were
guys-
taking forever. I was like, oh boy, we should hurry up soon.
No,
Oscar's
I
probably.
relaxed. I like pulled your lightsaber out from the back. I turned it on, turned it off, turned it on, turned it off. I thought, oh fuck, I probably look weird. I put it back and then boom, and
Oh thank God they didn't see. I was like, I was wondering why my lightsaber was moved. I was like,
oh yeah, no,
must have fallen.
Oh. You just came in. You went, oh, someone moved my lightsaber.
Did you touch my lightsaber? Put your ball sack on my lightsaber, Oscar?
You both took my lightsaber.
No, I was just watching Cops. Sorry, back to your Ryans.
No, just we've all met a Ryan that's
I have,
Kind of an
I have a
asshole.
coworker named Ryan. I'm a fan of him.
But have you met a Ryan in your life that you thought, man, what a dick?
Actually,
I think
I don't know many. I've known of Ryan. I've never met a Ryan before. I've only met one Ryan, I think, in my
I mean
life.
you've known a Ryan though that's been trouble.
Been trouble?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people like Devon. We all know a Devon.
Everyone knows a Devon.
They're annoying. I'm
Honestly-
just saying that someone whose name is Ryan, they're always, like you meet someone named Jennifer. They're in school for nursing.
We're just calling
I'm
out
saying.
people's names. Right? This is great. Any other names you hate, guys?
I hate the name Jennifer.
Really?
I hate it. It's a blonde white girl name. They're
What
all
about
in
Jen?
school for nursing. Jen's even worse. That's like someone named Jennifer that thinks they're original and they're like, no, call me Jen.
No, it's Jen, but with two N's.
Yeah.
I should have done some research about names now. Now I'm thinking about it. There's
Well, we
this,
didn't know we were gonna do this.
Yeah, no, this is
there's
all
this weird
freestyle.
trend of names going around, and it's bloody bizarre because
Liam
it's
with a
like
Y? Liam.
Anthony without a
Lion.
T, but they spell it like with these like weird hyphens and stuff in it.
I hate.
And like it literally looks like
Just name your
robot
kid Tom.
scribble, but like it's just Tony without a T.
Tony with Arnie. You're breaking my
No,
heart,
his
Arnie.
name is literally
No,
Tony
like,
without a T.
his
One
name
word.
is
Tony
literally
without a T.
Tony without a T. And they just write down their name O-N-Y, and like what is that? Tony without a T.
Tony
But his birth certificate will say Tony without a T.
Yeah.
And it gets so weird. Like
The teacher's
who
like,
the hell
what's your
thought of
name? He's
that?
like Tony without a T. It's like, okay, so Ani? No.
Tony without a
Tony
T.
without a T. Is it that hard? Tony without a
Exactly.
T.
It was I was just
If you're gonna have a name like that, you can't be protective of your name.
why would you get protective about your name? People are just going to call you, like freckle face for
Well,
like the
because-
first 8 years of your life anyway.
The amount of times I've been called Ethan, Ethan, and Ethan, Liam sometimes for some reason.
I have a problem with people that have not. It's different when it comes to like cultured, different names and cultures.
That's fine.
But let's just say European names. If there's a name you have that has like 16 different letters in it, don't get mad when someone says it's wrong.
Someone
Don't-
pronounces
don't-
it wrong.
Yeah,
you
when
just
someone pronounces,
politely
don't get mad,
correct
just-
them,
or just move on.
or give them a nickname.
Yeah, I hate
Give
it.
yourself a nickname
if
that
you-
you use.
Like if someone's like, "Oh, this is my name," and it's like, nobody's gonna figure that out the first time they say it, and then they say it, and you go, "No, try again." Don't be an
Try
asshole.
again.
That's just my little rant. I
I think-
hate people that like have a really complex name and then get mad when you screw it up.
I think the
Like, of
golden
course they're
rule
gonna screw
is
it up.
if
Just be
they
polite.
if they mess up your name and you're not expecting to have a relationship, whether it be friendship or like
Just roll
teacher
with it.
student with that person, you don't have to correct them.
When people call me
If
Austin,
it's a
I say,
substitute
"Yep, that's my
teacher
name."
and they call me Ethan, I won't be like, it's Ian. Actually, it's Ian. Or like if they accidentally say it once.
Half of Jada's family still thinks my name is Austin, just because I don't correct them. I'm like, "Yep, that's my name." 'Cause I'm not gonna be like, "It's Oscar."
They go to look you up and you're just a completely different person.
Yeah. Oh, so you're a wanted criminal.
This Austin Wolfgang is kind of.
Like you guys were talking about just giving each other nicknames.
Yep.
I re-
Rusty Cam.
yeah, no, exactly. Well, you guys knew my name back then,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it had Cam in
Yeah.
the name.
Yeah. We knew your name.
We knew. No, yeah, we definitely, we definitely knew.
I honestly, I thought his name was Jason. Oh, I actually have a story.
Okay.
Oh, go
I
ahead.
can say this one. I think I'm allowed.
Okay.
Because I'm making fun of myself at this point.
Okay.
So anyway, Ian, I was at a birthday party and Ian was there, and we just finished making some films together, and maybe, you know, he had the hots for me, let's be honest.
Mhm.
And he was like, "Yo, we should start hanging out with like the lunch group that we have or whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, maybe I'll do that."
You made it to the
Next.
popular kids
Because
thing.
it was like the end of grade 11. I thought, all right, grade 12, we'll start fresh like that. Yeah. And so
Must be me.
I knew it wasn't me. And so semester 1 starts, and I don't know why. I just like, oh, it's
No, you didn't.
Well, just
kind of
'cause
upset about that.
I thought it'd be too weird just to like first day of high school or first day of like grade 12 just wiggle my way in and be like, hey guys, I'm part of this now. So I wanted to do it like nice and slow. You know, I'd
Okay.
hang out every once in a while.
Okay.
But generally, I'll hang out in the art room. And there was a little group that I had of like, because I was in drama for semester 1, and there was a couple kids from the drama that would like hang out. Only the ones I liked, let's be honest. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm gonna say it. There's a lot of drama kids that I think are a little, you know,
Extra.
little extra, a little too extra. for my
Dramatic.
liking.
Dramatic.
Yeah, there we
Yeah.
go.
There's some cool kids that I met in drama, and I thought, hey, why not? You guys are like in grade 11, grade 10. You're young. I'll be your leader.
Oh god.
Not really.
I'll be your troop leader.
No, but so there was one girl, and she had a friend that just no idea who he was. He was not in any of my classes, but the girl was in my drama class, and he would hang out with her. So he'd be in our lunch group.
Yeah.
For all of semester 1, I thought his name was Alex, until halfway through the semester, Jada goes, "Bye, Lo." And I go, "What the fuck did you call him?" And she goes, "Lo."
Oscar's
go-
like, huh, good one.
No, literally, I was like, "What the fuck did you just call him?" And she's like, "Lo." And I was like, "Why?" Like, "That's his name." And I was like, "I thought his name was Alex. I'm not kidding."
Where did you get that
I've
from?
been talking to him to his face for like a semester, being like, "Yeah, you're Alex."
You look like an
His name's not even close to Alex. It was
God.
And I don't know. I go, "Oh," and I still haven't told him that.
I don't think you need to tell him.
Yeah.
Have
but
you seen him since?
I've seen him since. I have never, because I don't think I've ever been in a scenario where I went, "Oh, hey, Alex," you know, and just like I look at him and I talk
Yeah.
to him. So I never had to like, never accidentally said his name
Yeah.
wrong or whatever. But I always thought his name was Alex. Don't know why, but his name's
It's an interesting name.
yeah. I prefer
Sounds
that.
like a Mickey Mouse cartoon, like Oswald.
Oswald.
I was
yeah.
thinking something more like Russian.
Lost.
Zdravletsky.
And
But that ain't our brand.
that's how it began.
That's how it be. Oh, shit. What are you doing now, huh? Always on the move, you Oscar boy.
He couldn't find what he was looking for earlier. I found 2.
What are you looking for?
I'm blind, guys. Come on. Sorry, that I'm on my phone.
I forget.
There's a purpose for it, though.
Are you okay? You want to just keep on talking?
There,
keep on.
Okay.
there is a very popular question around the pool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cam, how many times do people defecate in the pool?
Oh, fair.
And what happens when people defecate in the pool?
Don't you just clear it out? You gotta
So
be like,
here's the
"Hey."
story. We literally have a sheet in the chemical room on the different types of poo there are and how to deal with each individual
I
type
have one
of
of those
poo.
in my bathtub.
I always miss for some reason.
Like whether it is vomit or massive blood or
Yeah.
not necessarily blood, but like vomit or
Period
something
blood.
like diarrhea, we have something called the vacuum.
Mhm.
And that we throw the vacuum into the pool and it helps filter out big chunks.
Oh God.
Delicious.
Yeah, I know. It's a lovely topic.
Yeah.
And we also do something that's called burning the pool. So we just throw in a butt ton of like hydrogen peroxide.
Mhm.
Like, and we burn it. That usually lasts about 8 hours. And I'm telling you, you can't get like more with all the Scantrols and everything we have in there. Like we keep it at a perfect 7.4, which is your eye is at a pH of 7. 7.4 is just slightly basic to keep things mellow.
What a goddamn hero.
Wow. What a guy.
No, I don't do it. Oh God, no. You have to go through a whole training process, and you have to.
So
be
you don't
19.
do it. You just know of it though.
I know of it though. I have the training ability to get the scoop, and I've done the scoop many a time.
Where you just scoop it out.
Yep.
And
And
you
those
still clean the
that's for
pool
something
after you
really
do that,
easy,
though,
like
right?
a nugget, like
Okay.
a really solid nugget. That's usually a baby. Well, we assume.
don't-
we like to assume that it's a baby.
Sometimes it's the lifeguards, but
Sometimes it's a human
they
baby.
have long.
I did
shifts,
throw a
yeah.
Tootsie Roll in there once.
Oh.
My supervisor, I thought he was going to get mad. He almost peed himself laughing. And he's like, "It was you, wasn't it? I gave you that Tootsie Roll. You said you don't like them, man."
Foiled
knew
again.
Okay, speaking of that topic, what? How do I say that?
How solid are your poops?
Yeah. What is what do you? I'm a rapper. If you guys don't know.
That's fair.
It's Rusty Oscar is what I'm going with. What are you best at your job? Because you're a lifeguard.
Saving
You got a
lives.
skill. Like when people see Cam at work, they go, "Oh, I'm safe because I know he's good at this." And then I want to know what makes the butcher's bitch so great too.
I do a lot of things in my job.
Yeah.
Well, not only am I good at scooping out poop, I'm pretty easygoing as it is with birthday parties.
Mhm.
Somebody always has to get in the water and do something. I'm always that guy that supplies a fun birthday party.
All right.
Um,
Get the party started.
yeah, I get the party
Cameron's the
started.
stripper for the 12-year-olds.
No. I gotta say, like, I'm probably the best with kids.
Okay. Yeah.
I used to do swim lessons. Ooh, I used to do.
You make them do the white water thing, where they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I make them do that sometimes. Usually, I used to do Monday, Wednesdays, and like Saturdays, and like that was a lot of lessons, right?
Yeah.
When report card time came around, I'd be writing 30 report cards for kids.
Yep.
And I always had that every week. That's why I would leave school early. I
Mhm.
would go to the pool, make a plan, and
Yep.
write things out. And it came to a point where I was just really, really good at it.
Mhm.
My certificate expired, and I talked to the Red Cross and I said, my certificate's expired, but I'm still doing lessons. And they said, yeah, nope, just tell us how many lessons you were doing. And I told them, and they said, oh, well, we'll give you a free extension for another 2 years if you want.
Achoo booyah.
Didn't have to go through a system or
Yeah,
anything. They
damn.
just asked me questions. I answered them, and they said, "No, you're good.
Nice.
You know what you're doing."
Okay, that's cool.
That being said, start of this year, I didn't get a single lesson set. I got my first lesson set 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
For all of like since September. Like that's almost unheard of.
Yeah.
People don't get away with that. You have to teach lessons.
Wow.
And
Goddamn maniac.
forgive me, but I'm feeling a little rusty.
Oh, yeah. Time to close up this podcast.
Enough of that. That's actually, you're gonna say that in your role in our little thing that we're making.
Oh,
Don't
yeah,
worry. I'll show you the script eventually.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
Yeah, we got something cooking.
Yeah.
What's when Ian comes into work, when the butcher's bitch comes in, where they go, oh, we know we're good because Ian is great at what? What's the thing
I'd
that
say I
people adore?
excel. At all the aspects of my job, I do best at the cleaning up. I've just been doing that for the longest.
Yep, the clean.
I have certain OCD tics where I'm like, hey, I really like when this is clean. And compared to some of the other people that they've had in there that have been fired, so I can talk about.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk shit about my coworkers, but people who've been fired before.
It's because they're not as good as
They were impressed with my work ethic.
Well, then there
So
you
that's
go.
that. What about you, Oscar?
Nothing.
Well, you're a manager type person now, right?
I'm a supervisor.
Supervisor. So you're up there.
Yeah. I'm up in the world. Not really. I'm a barista, so it's not like I'm doing
Do you
anything
work
crazy.
more than minimum wage now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I got a
cool.
week off because my surgery, so I'm living life. the
Wow.
next- till Monday.
I always
I'm
find
doing
when
nothing.
I have like more than 1 or 2 days off at a time,
I'm
It
excited.
feels weird going back.
No, yeah, I'm not excited to go back because I feel like I'll be out of the swing of things.
Yeah, exactly. You almost don't
yeah.
want I go back there and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I won't miss it here when I quit.
Yeah.
But then, yeah.
No, I like my job. I'm happy with what I do. I've gotten into a pace of things where, like, I guess since now I'm the supervisor, I'm the one with the key, so I open in the morning.
Mhm.
So I've gotten in like a pattern. I love that. I love that I have a set way of doing things. I wake up, do this, then I go home. You know, there's no like,
Yeah.
I know how every day is going to go.
Yeah.
And I love that. just I think that's my. I don't know if that's what people like about me, but I want every day to almost flow the same.
Yeah.
And so I like the fact that I have a key, and also I've learned that the store opens at like 6:30, so that means I'm there at 6, which means I wake up at like 5.
Yeah.
So I'm waking up at 5 like every single day, and so if I'm gonna be waking up at goddamn 5 in the morning every day, I don't want to go to work and then it to go turn all to shit, and then because I'm just not gonna be in a happy mood.
Exactly.
So I get there. I usually get there at like 5:40. What time is it? Oh, you're just looking at my phone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I just.
If you want, you can keep going.
That shit's fancy.
Oh yeah.
You want to know why I got this phone?
Tell me about it.
It's a great story. So, I got off work. I opened that day. It was 5 in the morning. I thought, my shift's over. I'm out of here. Walking home, go to call my girlfriend, like I do every day.
Mhm.
It's right when I get out of the store. I go to call Jada. It's raining out, and I go to pull up my phone, and I do one of these. Walk in. And I drop my iPhone 10
Oh no.
on the ground. Split, splat, shatter, bat. And I go, this ain't good, man. This ain't good. I look at my phone. It looks like it looks like a goddamn, I don't know.
Murder
Like.
Monkey shit.
Yeah, it don't look good. And I go, damn, this kind of sucks. And I'm going to sound real privileged when I say this.
It's okay. You are. Well, it's okay.
The back of the phone was cracked, and that's it. The front of the phone was fine. So, I think, hey, this is kind of annoying. I go home. I go, Mom, look at my phone. And she goes, oh, no. I could really use a new phone. And I was like, well, thanks for caring, Mom. And then I pick up Jada after work, and I go, we're going to Best Buy. And I bought myself a new phone. And I gave my mom my old phone. I just put a case on it, and she doesn't even care because it's just the back that's cracked.
Yeah.
But I got myself a new phone because I thought, hey, I deserve it.
I've been working hard.
That's,
No.
If that's not the most Oscar story you've ever heard in your
Yeah.
life.
If I'm being
I threw that
100%
other
honest.
phone away.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it was broken.
Yeah. Well, one, I thought, hey, my mom, well, for one, the iPhone 10 I owned was a phone she won in a contest. She's always used Android. She hates it. And she won an iPhone 10 in a contest. Like, the week the new iPhone 10 got released, she won a free one.
Yeah.
And she gave it to me. So I thought, hey,
Give back.
I mean, it's broken.
Time to pay it
Give it
forward.
to her. The new phone I'm buying is not for her. That's
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
But if I'm being honest,
If I'm being honest
this
again,
phone
yeah.
has a wide lens. That's
So,
the reason I bought it.
You need it more than her
Have you
because
seen
you're the
this?
cinematographer.
Cam, you're gonna love this. Smile. I don't know if it's taking a picture. There we go. Beauty. Look at that.
Yeah!
Love
That's impressive how it's actually that close.
it. Yeah, no, isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
This lighting makes my skin all oily.
It's okay.
Yeah, it makes us
I'm
all
not naturally oily.
I'm sorry. I think I intervened on something. What were we talking about before all of this?
You're talking about how you like your work schedule, what you do best at that.
So you mostly open in the morning, right?
I'm the one opening.
Okay, because I always close.
Mm-hmm.
If there's
At
one
my
thi-
store?
No.
Okay, yeah.
Cam always comes in.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, back it up.
I'm gone by 2:30.
Everybody's coming home with me.
Anyway, what?
I always close at my work. So if there's one thing people count on me, it's to close. And closing, there's a lot of cleaning up and stuff. If I open a shift, people do not count on me at all because I'm going to be honest, I've been late to work in the morning on multiple occasions, but it's because I close at 9:30 at night, and most of the times when you open, it's like at 6 a.m.,
Yeah.
5:30 a.m., and you open for 6.
Yeah.
Never worked an opening shift. I was scheduled for 7 o'clock in the morning, sharp.
Mm-hmm.
No, sorry, 6 o'clock because I
Yeah.
showed up at like 10 after 7
Yeah.
for my scheduled 6 a.m.
Jesus.
And they were kind of mad at me.
Yeah.
I had a few missed calls, but I just remember driving the car like, shit, I'm
Yeah.
going to be so fucking late. Like,
Yeah.
That was you smacking your dick. Morning wood. Anyway.
I went in there and like I was so flustered. Like I already started getting a headache just,
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
like stress, and
Oh, that happens to me every time I'm late too.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm walking on the deck like I'm marching. I am marching
yeah.
on the deck because I'm so like fuming mad. And Honestly, the last few supervisors I had for morning opening, she just looks at me and goes, Cam, don't worry about it. I know you don't open. I know you wake up like shit. I know you're a horrible person. And like I'm like, somehow this isn't helping me.
Yeah.
And
I was late once by 10 minutes because I forgot I was scheduled. I didn't know. And then I got a call from my boss, and I was like, oh, my God. And I just rushed it to work, made it there in 10 minutes. And my boss is like, what happened? And I was like, I forgot. I thought today was a different day. Gonna be completely honest. I thought it was like Monday, but it's Tuesday or whatever. And then he's like, oh, okay. I get a message from him. It's an app that says, what day is it today? And you click on it. It just tells you every day what day it is. And then every day for a while, he would just send me a text like 3 times a day. It's Tuesday, by the way. Even if I wasn't
see,
working.
you gotta find a boss that has got a sense of humor.
Exactly,
like that.
yeah.
What a
It was,
guy.
it was great.
Like,
And I was at my girlfriend's house, so I came. I like went there, and I was like, he was talking about like, oh, you were here quickly. Like I was like, yeah. And he's like, I knew your girlfriend lived quickly because we were talking about like we were talking about it another day, and he's like, I knew your girlfriend lived close when you got here so fast the other day. I was like, yeah, I came quickly, huh? He's like, sure you did.
Oh. What a guy.
Oh, and just to
Damn.
disclose why my supervisors were not mad at me. I mean, obviously they were mad that I was late,
Yeah.
like an hour and a half, and 10 minutes late to work. They talked to me and they said, honestly, we only have an extra guard, just in case something happens, because there was a shift where there's only one person opening, and there are like, those lane ropes that they have on the spinny things.
Yeah.
You will not believe how fast those things go. Like when you get them going and they're
Oh,
full
yeah,
of
yeah.
water and they help spin themselves.
Yeah.
The tail end of it is metal and plastic, and it came around, hit a coworker in the side of the head.
Yeah.
She tried walking to the guard room but didn't make it there. Collapsed on the pool deck, pooling blood. Like it was a horror scene.
Jesus.
Coworker showed up an hour and 10 minutes earlier.
my
like
God.
this is the story they told me. An hour and 10 minutes earlier than they were supposed to,
Just out of coincidence.
just out of coincidence.
Damn.
Came over, started performing first aid, got the ambulance, like concussed, stitches, everything, like out of work for a month at least.
Wow.
And they said, so that's why we have 2 guards at the start of every shift now.
Yeah.
And you just not being there, I understand you're way more of a late type, but like, let's just schedule that out. And that's like what my supervisor told me.
Yeah.
He sat me down and said, like, honestly, don't be late like that again. I'm going to help you not be late like that again. Let's schedule you for later shifts.
Yeah, that's fair.
And like, I absolutely love that.
I'm gonna. I don't think I'll ever make it that high on the hierarchy because like the beginning butchers have to start working at 6, and I don't have to work till 8 or 8:30 all the time when I have morning shifts. But if I were to ever get a 6 a.m. shift, I would die.
Yeah.
I would hate it so much. I'm not a morning person at all.
I'm not a morning person.
I used to get hour-long breaks because I'd get there at 8. I specifically asked if I could get there at 8:30 to get half an hour breaks just so I could sleep in more, like 10 minutes more.
I gotta say, like, I worked one opening shift where I started at 6 a.m., not quite 5:30, but 6 a.m. on a weekday. It was sometime just starting off in the summer, and I'm sure you could attest to this, but like when you wake up for a morning shift, any time from like 6 a.m. to like 8 goes by like that.
Yeah.
It flies by.
Yeah.
Morning
No, it
shifts
goes
for
by
you,
real
yeah.
quick.
And
That's
like,
why I love it too, because then I have the rest of the day.
yeah, I'm with Union. If I work before the time of 8 a.m. in the morning, I get almost $1.50 pay increase.
Wow.
Yeah.
And everybody's just sitting there like, this is the easiest job. And who the hell wants to go swimming at 6 in the morning, right?
Yeah, really.
Not many
Yeah,
people.
yeah. So
The
you're just
people
chilling.
who do, they're like
Yeah, yeah.
8% body fat. Like they
They know what they're doing. Yeah.
Exactly. So we literally just watch them go back and forth, and then we talk. We talk about like, all right, so we got birthday parties today. Let's plan a birthday party.
Yeah, this is definitely the longest podcast that we've had. That's okay.
And-
I'm
Nothing
happy
wrong
with
with
And
that.
I'm 100% honest with you guys. I would do this anytime you ask me
Oh,
to.
sweet.
Hell yeah.
This
yeah.
is,
Every
this
time we
is
got
so
a
good
problem
for
with
me.
it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I,
It's fun to talk, man.
I
Yeah.
love to talk about myself sometimes.
Okay, I
Others.
got a story. I
Yeah.
just remembered it. It's probably I'm really bad at explaining stories, so we'll see how well I do this.
Okay.
It was one of the first opening shifts I did,
Mhm.
and I live right beside my work. And I woke up at like 5:30, to like a fire truck driving by my house just because it's real loud. I was like, man, that's obnoxious. Wake up, but hey, at least it woke me up. I get ready, I shower, I do my whole thing. I start walking to work, and I see like a smoke thing.
Yeah.
Down like in like, you guys know where the Island Grind is, in like that little weird area. There's a little smoke thing just kind of in the middle of that area. And I'm walking down, and I just see it in the sky. I'm like, oh, it's like 5 a.m, and I can see some smoke. That's weird. And I keep walking down, and the garbage can, like the outdoor little garbage can, is just like completely gray, covered in ash, and just like burning up. And the fire truck's gone at this point. So now I know the fire truck was like right beside my work, blowing this like garbage can out of smithereens. And I go, man, that's weird. Okay, I'm gonna unlock the store. So I unlock the store, and we had it was like I don't know, it was maybe October, so we had like webs and stuff on the walls, just the decorations of like watercolor paint on the window. So it's all white, and that comes into play in a minute. And I unlock the store. It's not snowing yet. I'll go set up the patio outside. So I go outside and set up the patio, and there's dirt all over the side of the store. Yeah. And I was like, what the hell? And we have a little outdoor garden for like growing mint and everything for our food we make. Yeah. And it's completely all over the floor. All the pots are destroyed. And you look at the side of the building. The building's like all glass. Yeah. All the way up. There's just dirt everywhere. And someone like came to our store, took all our pots, started smashing our windows and like throwing dirt everywhere. Plants are all over the floor. And you didn't notice? I didn't notice a goddamn thing. It was 5 a.m. I wasn't looking around. I was walking right to work with my head down. So I see all this. So I just missed these guys just by a couple minutes. And it's disgusting all the while. So I take a hose. I hose down the side of the store. I get a mop or whatever. I'm sweeping all the dirt off our patio. Set up the patio. And one of our tables is on the ground. And somehow like the top of the table is made of glass. And that's not shattered for some reason. Thank God. That would have been super annoying. My boss would not be happy. But somehow one of the tables survived. I set them all up, and then it's already 6:30. I have to unlock the doors. It's time for people to come in. And there's one guy that comes in every morning, and he orders like an 8-ounce coffee and a drink or whatever, and a sandwich. And I make him everything, and he goes, there's something on your door. And I was like, oh God, okay, I'll go look. And so I give him his coffee and everything. I go outside, and all of the white painting is like dripping down. And there was a condom tied to one of the doors. And what I thought was white paint was semen.
Jesus Christ.
All over the windows. All over the windows.
Oh.
And I, like legit, it was disgusting. I was like, this had to be like 5 guys or one sex machine that just all over.
And that would have been like at 5 a.m.
Yeah, these are some
a
bunch of people go, let's go gang bang the island. So there's literally semen.
We're gonna hit up the island grind and we're gonna fuck it.
So first they like cover the place in dirt. Yeah. Then they go jack off to the side of the building.
You're back hard.
You cheated on me with Starbucks.
They tied condoms to the doors that are filled. Yeah. And also, all over the windows. So it's like going down. It's disgusting. I clean all that up. It was so annoying. Get it all done with. Thank God. Jesus. And, shit. I'm missing something. There's more to this story. I just know it. But
I open my mouth and something comes.
So anyway, wipe the windows off or whatever. Clean it all up. I go, man, thank God that is over. All this, what a way to start your morning. Yeah. Never want that again. I got to start having a consistent morning. And I realized.
And that's when
I learned I need to start having a consistent morning. But, okay, and so then we had someone come in at like 8. So we have people that come in at 6, 2 people open, and then we had another person come around like 8. Yeah. And I guess they were at Shoppers or something getting like medication or something right before they came to work. Yeah. And they go, yo, you guys see like the windows at Shoppers? They're like covered in semen. And Shoppers like just opened. So like we open at like 6, they open at like 8. So like but they got the same thing happen to them. So that means like 15 guys were literally, and Taco Del Mar had it, and Jack's like in October.
Do you think at that point that they just had something that was a replicant, or?
No, this was. Trust me, I checked. It was.
I tasted it. It was the real deal.
It was definitely some people, because the girl that was so pissed off in the morning that I came with, she said while she was driving
that you came. Oh, Oscar, you came. You just admitted that you were
Yeah,
the one.
okay, I was wrong. So the girl that opened with me, when she was like so pissed off, she said because some guys were like a group of guys were walking down Dogwood,
Yeah.
and they like jumped in front of her car to scare her or something while she was driving like on like 60.
Yeah.
The guys were like, whoa, on the highway, clearly high or something.
Yeah.
And they ran off, and she's like, these assholes. And that's why she was so mad. So it was probably those guys that were just like walking by, this group of kids or whatever.
The testosterone is
Yeah, but like,
impressive.
that's my story about the worst morning I ever had. But who does that? Who goes to a store and does that? Is
I
it
would
you
never-
guys?
Yeah.
You guys ever consider that? Just think about that. Like,
I wouldn't have like.
I would never be in the right mind to think, yeah, I'm gonna go with my friends. By the way, show them all my, jack off in front of all my friends.
I don't like. I don't have
As
the
a
brain,
team.
the brain capacity to think
I
of
would never
something
think of
so
that.
elaborate.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let alone would I have the stamina to keep up.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Is like it's clearly not one guy.
No,
like he'd be
it's had to-
done.
You take that store, I'll take this one. No, I want shoppers.
It's also got to be like one guy per window too.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't
everything.
do Taco Del Mar. Like,
My
what's
mom works
sexy
there.
about taco?
Anyway, that was a rough day for me. I had to clean it all up. My coworker refused to clean any of it.
She was a woman though, right?
Yeah, she was
That's
like, "That's
fair.
disgusting. I'm not
That's
cleaning
fair.
it." I put on rubber gloves. I washed my hands 40 times after. We have like a whole thing of sanitizer in the back. I just dunked my hands in that when I was
Yeah.
done because I was like, no trace,
No.
no goddamn. I don't want to be in a black light.
Yeah.
Look like
So on
Jackson
your
Pollock.
lip, you're like-
They bring you in for questioning. I literally cleaned it up. I literally shut up. Show me your hands.
Look at your head.
Okay, but
we
that-
caught you. We caught you white-handed. We got.
Yeah, and then
I can't. Like my hands are.
Just can't spread his
manager-
fingers.
the manager of Shoppers
scooping
came.
action.
Yeah.
And she was like, whoever these bastards are, we're going to find them. We have... Little do they know, we have cameras at our store. We've got these assholes. Apparently, they were drawing dicks on the walls, too, and stuff. Anyway,
Did they
so-
catch him?
Shoppers, since they're
Cameras?
owned by...
You wanna,
No.
You want to catch the guy? I bet you they're wearing like the freakiest masks
Yeah.
too. Like, what's
So-
that Billy Goat
They're
doing?
wearing the horse masks.
Oh. on the window.
One has a pigeon
You
on.
just imagine the horse mask just.
He's the pigeon, and he's somehow able to turn around, make it look like he's shit on the
Okay, so Shoppers is owned, what do you call that? It's a franchise.
Mhm.
So it's not like a independent company.
Yeah.
So for them to get their camera feed, they have to send it to corporate
Oh
and
my
get it
God.
approved, and then they will show them the video feed or whatever.
Yeah.
So to this day, they still haven't got the videos back, so we have
What
no
the
idea
hell?
who it is still.
Disrespect.
Yeah.
Huh. Were the police there at all or anything?
No, we were like, oh, it's just some kids. Let's not. I guess we didn't call the police on them. I guess. But yeah, just a funny vandalism story of mine.
You have any vandalism stories, Cam? You ever vandalized anything?
I'm not allowed to talk.
The
about those
self-incriminating.
stories. I personally have never done vandalism.
Mhm.
I've done a great deal of many other childish things. Like, okay, the closest thing I have to vandalism is mischief.
Okay.
And it was kind of, like one of those psycho kid activities that you do for no reason. Big hill in Nelson,
Uh-huh.
the only highway in and out of Nelson. Like 200 foot like rolling cliff down to the water on one side, and it's just this huge hill on the other. We're on like the top of the hill, in and around a corner of some trees, and we just start picking up rocks and seeing if we could hit the road with these rocks.
Fair.
And I remember throwing these rocks with my friend, like absolute psycho move that we were doing.
Yeah.
Oh, I forget what grade we were in. I must have been like less than 4 or something.
Mhm.
And we're just throwing these rocks, and like I remember every time we threw these rocks, none of them hit the road because we were laughing so hard. Like we were so like giddy and nervous that this was just going to go horribly wrong, and then that we would be like fined or something, or our parents would be fined.
Yeah.
Like we just thought it was hilarious, and I've never done anything like that since.
Throwing rocks, man.
I don't know why this story strikes me so much, but this didn't even happen to me. This happened to my brother's best friend when he was in like grade 10.
Mhm.
But I went to like a K to 12 school, and they were walking. They went to, like at recess or whatever. They walked to 7-Eleven,
Oh, beautiful.
and they were walking back to school, and there was like traffic right beside the school, and my brother's friend saw his mom's car in the traffic, so he picked up a snowball because it's Alberta. What do you do? And he whips it at this girl's car, and then he whoop whoop, and the car. There's an undercover cop.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even a cop car; it was undercover. Saw this kid just throw a snowball at some random car, and got out and attacked me and chased them down, me and my brother, and we're like, what the hell are you guys doing? And he's like, it was my mom.
Oh my god.
That's all I know. But I just thought it was funny that you just thought you'd poke some fun at your mom and the cops just tackle you over. But that's my story. Got any great stories, you guys?
Oh, I got plenty. What's the topic? Keep me.
I'm trying to think of something. I'm trying to think of something fresh. What haven't we discussed yet?
I don't know. Should I talk about? I'll talk about some cop experience. I know my mom watches these, so.
Are you gonna talk about?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk about.
You can talk about T-Line PD.
T-Line PD.
When,
no.
the cop talked to us in T-Line PD.
Well, no, we didn't get caught for this. This was something stupid I did, Mom. Please don't be mad at me. When it was snowing, we went skiing behind Zach's truck with the tubes and whatnot.
I think I know this story.
And so of course, me being the stupid person I was in the back of the truck, and we decided for one of the rounds not to tie the rope to the truck.
Just to hang on.
Yeah. So I was holding the rope in the back of the truck, pulling 3 people on tubes. As you could imagine, that wouldn't go well.
Not a good idea.
Not a good idea. I had Maddie in the truck with me. She didn't hold the rope. She was just sitting there.
Yeah.
Zach, vroom, and I just go flying forward and hit the front, and the rope wraps around my hand. This happened 1 year ago today, which is convenient.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday, 1 year ago yesterday.
Yeah.
Wraps around my hand and my finger, and just get such a bad rope burn on my finger that it takes off, see there's an indent there?
Yeah.
That it takes off the skin. Oh, right, yours is, from your little rope swing incident.
I'll tell you about my rope swing
And
incident
then,
in a minute.
and it wrapped around my arm, and I'm so lucky my arm didn't break. Anyway, we did that for a while, and then the second day after that, I decided to go back and do it again, and we were in a different neighborhood, and this dad was on his little skidoo thing in the snow pulling around his kids, and then we were doing it with him, kind of, and as we were driving again to do it, he passes us, and he's like, guys, you gotta stop. There's a cop there that's on the corner waiting to burn you guys. Someone called us in. Someone ratted on us. And it was this dad. He's like, I just got a ticket. And we're like, oh, they definitely called on us. Not the dad, for sure, because the dad was just doing it with his little kids on a little thing. And we felt so bad because the dad got a ticket. And then so we had to organize it because, of course, people were overloading. We had to organize, who was getting in rides.
Escape plan?
Yeah. And then we just had 2 people walk and try to look for the cop, and I guess he drove away because he thought he caught the people that were doing it. It was it was a very close call. I've never had a closer call than that without getting caught. Anyway, you busted your finger doing some acrobatics.
So this happened on 2 separate occasions, both at the trestle.
Yeah.
It was Noah Vatten and Colton that made that rope
Colton's
swing.
gonna come on in a couple weeks.
Excellent. He's an excellent person to talk to.
Yes.
He's got some very strong
Exactly.
opinions.
That's everyone I'm very happy with the guest set list we have so far. Every
We've
time
had some good people.
every time we brought up you, Grady and everyone we've brought up is very looking very much forward to this episode. So
Oh God.
It's a long one too.
This is
Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
we got a lot of
We're
material.
gonna have to throw
We're gonna
these
have
on
to
Google Play or SoundCloud.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
We're
right
gonna
now
have
we're
to
just YouTube.
cut this after a bit because I'm sure we have stories that we could go on forever, and we'll have you on as a guest another time eventually
We'll bring those up then. Yeah.
to then
Yeah,
do other
and-
stories. We don't want to use all of our material in
And
one
just
go.
as a final note, at the end of this, I would like to put something on record for you boys
Okay.
and me.
Okay.
Just as a reminder, just to get it on the record.
Okay.
All right. Good. So my busted hand story.
Yeah.
First time I went on that rope swing,
Mhm.
I remember Zach Masters showed me how to do it. And he grabbed onto the rope and said, "This is how you use the rope swing." And he went on it. It was like he held onto it until he got about 3 feet off the standing point.
Yeah.
And then he just let go and he belly flopped.
Oh my god.
And it was, I got splashed. We're 10 feet up and I got splashed. And I'm like, what the hell was that? And he's like, oh, that hurt. Just don't do what I did. I'm like, yeah. I mean, you barely held on, Zach. So I go on it thinking like, okay. So like there's this pullback rope and I make sure I got enough line out. I didn't know that it was tied up.
Yeah.
And I coiled it all nice. I threw it, and when I went on it, I went till about like when the rope was completely straight. That's when the other rope went taut.
Yeah.
That small rope ripped up my side here, bruised all my ribs, jerked my hand back, and like I almost did a backflip into the water.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy. And I was swearing at the rope swing, and like my hand, I got all these weird blisters that I've never seen before. Like they almost looked like calluses, and they were hard. And I said, "It's a fast way to get calluses." And jumped off, had a great day, went back. The very next day, we took a bunch of people out, Avery Foy and Joe. We took Joe out on the rope swing, and I was feeling pretty good. I had a coffee before that, and I said, "All right, Joe. We're going to jump off and we're going to try the rope swing. Just one more time. I'll give everything a second try."
Of course.
And this time it was untied. And I'm like, oh, that's good. All right, perfect. So I went on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember exactly what happened. I think I simply just got rope burn. And I slid and I fell into the water. And when I got my hand out, these two fingers were like third-degree rope burn. I could see the muscle in my hand all along here too, and there's this little notch in my pinky. You could just barely see it now, but like it was the part that got the most, where it was just cut right down. So I'm sitting there with one hand, and I was like, "Oh, that hurt, Joe. Are you still going to do it?" And he said, "Yeah, I just won't hold on to it as long." I said, "Okay, good idea." When he goes, the drawstring is in between his legs.
Oh, no.
And he did the same thing I did the other day. When it got taut, it got him right in between the berries.
Oh.
He started to do a backflip, but the rope swing wrapped around his ankle and pulled him forward, and he did a face plant.
Jesus Christ.
Like, I seriously went, holy crap, Joe's dead. I just killed Joe. I'm the lifeguard there.
Yeah.
I'm swimming with one hand because I can't use this one.
Oh, my God.
And Joe gets up, and he's like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Ah," and he's like, "Oh," and we both get up there. I said, "I can't drive with this hand," and he's like, "I don't think I can move my legs to touch the gas." So we each shared a beer, and we're just sitting there oohing and ahhing. And apparently, while Joe and I were sitting there talking about how much we hurt, Quinn and Dylan were goofing around. They jumped off and they were swimming back. Apparently something along the lines of Dylan pantsed Quinn and Quinn pantsed Dylan. And they were laughing and they were laughing so hard they started drowning.
Oh my God.
And they literally were calling my name at the top of their lungs and I couldn't hear them. And like they were like sputtering, and Colson is just on the side, and he threw them a stick. And they get back to the side, and Dylan throws up because he's got water in him. And Quinn's like almost puking on the side too. And they walk up like 20 minutes later, and I just look at him and go, "Where the hell have you been?"
Oh my God.
Oh,
Wow.
Did you have a sound clip you wanted to show Oscar earlier?
Oh my God, I can't believe you remembered that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's really dumb.
Uh-oh.
It was literally just the stupidest thing ever. I just wanted to do this.
Oh. Are we listening to the whole thing?
No.
Okay. Hot snakes.
Oh my.
This is on private, and somehow it has a dislike. I don't know how it has a dislike.
It was public for a bit, wasn't it?
Yeah. Who disliked it?
How many likes does it have? 0. Oh.
That was no plan, just some guy we threw in our van. Oh my God.
I'm talking about Emma Watson. Yeah, that was risky because our writing teacher's name was Emma, and the line that you wrote was, "Emma always tease me, never want to please me."
Let's not talk about
You
that.
know what I changed it to for the video, if you look, because there's the lyrics that play. To throw her off, it says, "Emma always tease me, never want to please me." the video says dilemmas always appease me, never want to tease me.
Oh,
And she
okay.
bought right into
Good
it.
job.
Or she liked what she heard and she kept quiet.
Yeah. But then you saved yourself and said, I'm talking about Emma Watson.
Nothing around with Watson. Yeah, good times.
Maury actually offered me a job on her property too. She heard about the program I was in, and she said, "Yeah, so like living in our trailer in Black Creek," and I'm like, "Yep, so far regular teacher story. Go on."
As you do.
And she's like, "No, like we have so much like back property with like creeks and stuff, and we actually want to like we're going to have a little bit of a farm. Would you like run little farm tours around there, the area? Are you familiar with ATV?" And I'm like, "Am I redneck?" Yes. Yeah, I'll do it.
She's asking you out, man.
Yeah, her and her fiance, right? Yeah.
He's got a sick truck. Remember when he moved that couch?
Oh,
Were
right,
you,
yeah.
Did you help us move the couch that time?
I don't
He
think
was at
so.
the school. He didn't
I
help
was-
us
I was-
get it into the truck, but he was
Yeah.
at school and he helped
Right,
us carry it
because we
out.
got. I
Because
gave
it
you like.
smelled like a dog,
Yeah,
right?
you
Yeah.
sat on it and it was
yeah.
all wet.
It was a very wet couch.
Yeah,
It was like UB's or something, right?
yeah, it was amazing. That was a good class.
Good time, man.
Loved that. All right.
Any other notes? Either of you want to talk about anything?
You had something because I think we should wrap it up about now. So you
All
got.
right, this will be the wrap up.
All right.
Okay.
I'm getting my life together, and I'm starting to realize a lot of things I want to do, and I haven't done them for a very long time. But just because, you know what?
Shoots both of us.
We're no.
I'm sorry.
We're out of school and everything.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend who she went to Victoria and she got a photo portfolio done.
Yeah.
And she's given it to a model agency and she's getting jobs every week that are
Yeah.
in Vancouver.
Yeah.
But she can't go to them. She can't go to casting calls or auditions because she's currently in like Carey High right now in a grade 12 year.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what, if it's that easy, like, why the hell don't more people do it, especially on Vancouver Island? I'm going to go to Victoria soon, and I want to get photos done. And, like, I would like you boys to come with me.
Oh,
honestly,
yeah.
Like,
Sure. do it.
we should honestly, like, get out there and do stupid things.
Yeah.
Do it. I have a secondary proposition, and Cam, you can be involved in this too. I didn't even think about it until now. So, spoiler alert, I guess, for both of you. Not really. Jada got accepted to the Disney program.
Okay.
So she's going to LA for 2 weeks in June.
Wonderful.
And I thought, let's go to LA, guys.
God.
So, do you guys for 2 weeks? We all split it.
2 weeks in
2
June.
weeks or 1 week in LA. We take a flight.
I'm busy June
rent a
7th.
car. It's like June 27th to July something. I don't know.
Okay.
Promise me one thing. We're not just going to Disneyland. Every time I've gone to
No,
LA,
my plan is to do stuff in LA, not go to Disneyland.
I
But
want to go
my
to the
idea-
beach.
My
I
idea-
want to walk in the streets of Compton. Well, maybe not that, but like I want to say that I did it.
Yeah.
You know, like
I'm
Yeah.
not kidding. Like we get a flight. We all share a hotel for a week and a half.
Oh,
rent
fuck.
a car.
That is a lot of money.
that is a
I
lot
did the
of
money. It's actually. I mean, like I checked.
did
it.
the math.
I did the math. It's actually fairly cheap. If we're all splitting it by 3, it's
However,
pretty cheap.
we do
but-
have school to save for, Oscar.
Yeah. I mean, this could be
Yeah.
a one trip we do.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it could be a fun idea.
I'm off school in May, and I'll be
Cool.
working until then.
Yeah.
I was actually talking with Diego,
Mhm.
and he wants to take a friend from Vienna.
Yep.
They want to do a road trip,
Yep.
North California to South California.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I don't know when that was, but that was a very.
Yeah.
Why does everybody want to go to California all of a sudden? I'm not complaining. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
I want to go to LA and just cause.
Yeah.
Just do whatever. Like I don't know. It could be fun. But like even if it's just for a week, I think why not?
Mhm.
And like, I don't know. There's some cheaper things out there.
Or, yeah.
But why not? You know. I mean, we don't have to. I'm just saying it's
Yeah.
a fun idea. Jada will be working at Disneyland, so that's easy.
I've been
But-
in California all my life for like a grand total of almost 4 weeks, and I've never seen anything besides Disneyland. Oh, SeaWorld.
The only
That's
time
it.
I ever went to LA was for 3 days, and I went to the Hollywood Walk of Fame, the gift shop at Universal, and a movie. And that's it.
Yeah.
No.
Fair.
I want to go onto the beach, and I just want to look at the West Coast because we
Yeah.
don't have a West Coast around here. Come on,
I
boys.
think it would be really fun if we just went or something. It'd be cool.
Absolutely.
I don't know if we're going to, but hey.
Yeah. We'll see.
It's an idea.
Well-
We got a while until it comes, so.
If you have me for more podcasts, you'll see a lot more of me.
All right.
You
Sounds
know,
good.
and I'll just remind you, hey, remember that
Yeah.
great idea you
Yeah,
had?
no, I'm down, honestly.
We're going to be star skits.
Because it was like, remember what it was, but like it's about. Well, I mean, it gets expensive because it's like about $100 a night or whatever. But then we also don't have to rent a car or whatever. We could get Uber, which is cheaper as well.
That's true.
But I mean, splitting it by
I love
three
Uber
also is-
drivers. Oh my
Yeah.
god, so many stories.
I had a
Ever been to
scary
Uber driver?
I've never been to Uber driver.
No.
I had a scary Uber driver one time. It wasn't even that scary. It's just the first one we had was a guy. He literally said his favorite meal is dog. Not even kidding.
Oh
First,
god.
when we got to LA, he said he has dog soup. Legit.
Fair.
And he was telling my dad how he makes it and everything. He really friendly guy. We gave him a nice tip.
Mhm.
And then the second guy, we wanted to go to like the Warner Brothers studio. I got to see the bat suit. It was pretty awesome. And that guy, we got in his car and he didn't say a word to us. He didn't even say where we were going. My dad was just like, "So we're gonna go to here," and he was like, he didn't say a word to us. I thought we were gonna die.
I'd want to be an Uber driver for sure. If
But
I were better
that
at
guy's
driving.
scary, though. That's the one guy that freaked me out because he didn't say a word to us. Even when we got out,
Yeah.
not a single word. He just waited to listen.
I remember one of my favorite Uber drivers. It was just, he literally had like this piece of paper on the back of the seat. It said, "I don't speak English, but I am nice." And he didn't say much word. He's just like, hey, radio? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And he just puts on his phone and he played like Billie Eilish's Bad Guy on repeat all the way from like our, what's it called? Airbnb.
Yeah.
Like in deep Anaheim all the way
Yeah.
to Disneyland.
Damn.
And we're just like, white shirt. But yes, t-shirt. And we're just like
Yeah.
bopping in the car, and he's like, yeah, white people love this music. And we're all laughing.
All right, I guess we'll close up now.
All right.
Thank you guys
Alright.
for
Was
listening.
that was your thing that you wanted to put on record?
Victoria?
Yeah,
photo shoot?
that like we got to get out there.
Yeah.
Why
Because you
not?
guys
Yeah.
do, we have so many great opportunities. Let's take it and
For
run
sure.
with it.
Hell yeah.
Alrighty.
Perfect.
Thank
Sounds
you
like
guys
fun.
for listening. Hopefully this will be on SoundCloud.
Yeah,
or
thank you
something.
for watching and/or listening. If you want to see the time codes, even though you've already finished it, want to show one of your friends some interesting conversation we had, the time codes are in the description to each topic that we do.
Yep.
And yeah, thank you.
Hopefully you come back in one of these ones here.
Yeah, and we'll see
Absolutely.
you guys
Next
next
up
week.
is Zach. So
See you then.
bye.